Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another Medicare AEP deep dive training. We're doing it live here, folks. It's September 12th, 2024, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you. My name is David Duford, owner of the DIG Agency, and we are here today to train you when it comes to the art and the science of selling Medicare successfully during this upcoming AEP season. If you are going to be selling Medicare or already selling Medicare Advantage products or Medicare supplements, this program is specifically designed for you because we're going to go deep into training you on all things related to selling and marketing Medicare successfully. Of course, I am back with my friend in the business who has probably been doing Medicare longer than I've been alive. And that's a compliment.
Yes,
Welcome, Luis Moreno.
absolutely.
Luis, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm excited to be here, man. Thank you for that compliment. Yes, I've been doing it a long time, but man, I use a lot of oil overlay. I think that's what it's called. It helps me stay young.
Well, you look so good. I need to pick up on some of this. Turning 40, got to start exfoliating, right? So,
oh, yes. I start using a lot of my wife's products in the shower. So that's what the older you get, you start using the wife products.
There we go. That's what it comes to, huh? All right.
Yeah, that's a secret.
Well, you're here today because Medicare AEP season is upon us, and there's a lot of agents who are watching this live or watching a recording of this that are interested in selling Medicare products successfully and maybe don't have the training when it comes to how to sell it, what the opportunity even is, the marketing, the CRM, et cetera. And what we're going to do for the next 4 hours, guys, we're going to be here for 4 very detailed long hours in the frame of helping you navigate how to be successful at Medicare. So let's jump right into it, Luis, if you don't mind, for the sake of the audience who may not be familiar with you. Give us like a 30-second overview of who you are, what you do. Mention your YouTube channel too as well. And then break down what we're going to be talking about today so we can kind of set the agenda and then jump right in.
For sure. So, guys, Luis Moreno here. Again, yes, I've been doing Medicare for a long time. I started in the industry working as a captive agent with Mutual of Omaha, selling Medicare supplements. I was in a bullpen and with about 20 guys in Houston, Texas, and all of them did not want to touch MedSup. They were like, it's awful. And they're like, the guy was like, you want to do it? I'm like, sure, I'll give it a shot. I had just gotten my license. Anyway, got my feet wet with MedSup in Houston. Loved it. Never did PDP or MAPDs, just strictly MedSup and long-term care. So that's how I started back in 1999. Man, whoa, David, how old were you in 1999?
15. It's the age of my son. It's crazy.
Woo! Wow, crazy. So that's when I started doing it. All right. Anyway, I opened up a PNC agency in 01, and then I continued doing Medicare, and now I have a full service agency focusing on everything pretty much, right? But I don't do a lot of the PNC stuff. I got a great team. My focus is Medicare and ACA. So yes, I do a lot of Medicare. My existing book, because I know for some of you guys, it may matter. Okay. I always tell agents, look, you got the opportunity to learn from somebody who is in the fight with you or somebody who kind of teaches you how to fight from a book. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm in the fight with you guys. I am an active agent selling. I've got a book on the MAPD, PDP side of about 1,000 clients. Okay. That's kind of where I sit. So I'm sure there's going to be some guys that you guys got a bigger book, and some of y'all that are just starting. 1,000 clients is hard to maintain. Okay. We got to do renewals with all of them. In addition, you got retention issues you got to take care of, and then replacing your books so your income doesn't go down. So I'm at a very comfortable 1,000 MAPDs, a small portion PDPs, but that's my book, and that's me, guys. I love Medicare. I love health insurance. I do a lot of ACA. It's kind of my passion. And I will tell you this, because there's a theory out there, David, that those that can't do teach. All right. I am that exception. Okay, because I am not just teaching you because I can't sell and I don't have a book of business, so I've got to come on here and teach. I feel that I'm truly that exception because I've got about 1,000 MAPD clients. I sit with almost close to 5,000 ACA clients. I've got about 6,000 households on my P&C side. Great multi-million-dollar commercial book. I mean, I just got a ton of energy. I got a lot of batteries in my system. Man, I'm revved up. So that's about
and the missus is ready for that new Escalade. Just a reminder. The check engine light was on. That's what you told me when I was there
last night. Yeah, you came and saw me. You know the theory. Eventually, that thing is something's going to go wrong with it. But yes. So last night she told me, I don't think you need a new car, Luis, but I do need a new Escalade.
Priorities.
And we made the mistake, David. We were at the U.S. Open this couple of weeks ago, and they had the 2025's Escalades in there. And of course, they're sponsoring the tennis U.S. Open. So of course, we walk in and we're looking at the Escalades. We sit in them, and the glass cockpit. Wow!
Big mistake.
Like, we're getting one of these. I'm like, well, there goes my shot at getting something new.
So, Luis, give us the agenda for today. What can people watching this live or recorded expect to learn on today's deep dive?
So here's what we're looking at, guys. So number one, we're going to talk about the opportunity. We're going to be talking about the money. Okay, it's all about the money, guys. It's just the way the world works. We do want to help our seniors. We want to make sure that they're in the right plans, but we also need to take care of our pocketbooks, our livelihood. So we're going to talk about the money potential. We're going to be talking about being set up correctly. Okay, that's another issue that I see with agents is you are not set up correctly. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. In addition to that, I'm going to talk about how to get ready for AEP. Okay. This AEP is a historical AEP, guys. All right. It's never the chatter in the Medicare world. This is the AEP. This will be the most shopped AEP in history. Okay. Huge changes happening from this current year to next year. We're going to be talking about that. Okay. Then we're going to hop in. We're going to talk about compliance, some things that we've got to make sure that we're doing so that we don't get in trouble. We want to make sure that we're doing things right. So nobody likes compliance, but guess what? We have to fly by the correct rules. We just cannot be doing stuff wrong. Okay. And you don't want to get in trouble because, who wants to be in trouble? That's the best way I can put it. Then by that time, we should be nearing the point where we're going to have some guest speakers. Okay. Right. So you guys are just not going to hear me. We're going to have we're going to have two great guest speakers. Okay. One of them is Alex Branding, CEO of Agent CRM. It is the premier CRM for insurance out there. And he's going to give his pitch. He's going to talk about some of the features in the CRM and why you need to have it. But I'm just going to tell you from my point of view, when Agent CRM, I was one of the first guys to get it. I'll talk about why you need to get it. Okay. You're going to get my workflows. You're going to get the tools that I utilize. And I'm going to talk about the bad of the industry, insurance industry, and why you need to have CRM as not a backup, but a way to prevent from you getting in trouble. So I'll talk about that. Then we're going to get into the how-to of Medicare. Okay. How do you sell these things? How to present? Okay. We're going to talk about ANOC. If you're sitting there and you're like, what did you just call me, Luis? ANOC's what I called you. We're going to talk about the ANOCs, and we're going to talk about the first looks, the deep dives that are happening right now with a lot of carriers. I just got the Humana first look about a couple of days ago. I have an ANOC that I'm going to share with you, how to read them and how to prepare for your clients already getting these ANOCs or should be getting them soon from the carriers. So how to prepare yourself for that. Then go ahead, David.
Yeah, go ahead. Wrap that up and then we'll jump in.
Okay. And then we got another guest speaker. We're going to talk about marketing, and we're bringing Oscar from Scale My Social, and he's going to be talking about marketing out in social media and what he does, that magical side of the business that I don't know really what to do, but he's going to be talking about that. And then we'll kind of wrap up with making sure everybody's doing everything right. And then we'll take a bunch of your questions. So make sure you're typing your questions in the chat. David's going to moderate this and prompt me.
Yeah. So that's why I'm here today, guys, is to facilitate your questions at any point through the presentation that Luis has carefully prepared. So anything you're wondering, anything that Luis is talking about that you'd like him to clarify a little further, put it in the chat. If as we talk, you think of something else that maybe Luis isn't mentioning or hasn't mentioned he will be talking about later, put it in the chat. So this is an interactive experience. We want to make sure for those of you, especially watching live, get the questions that you have answered by the expert, okay? So throw them in the chat. I'm the guy monitoring it. Also, a couple of things here too. If you're watching this recorded or live, Luis does have a YouTube channel. It is posted in the chat. It's an excellent resource for both Medicare and ACA. He's done an incredible job. Please like and subscribe his channel, or at least subscribe so you can watch more of his material. And then other than that, I think we are ready to go. So Luis, I think you're going to start with the opportunity overall. We've got about approximately 25, 30 minutes until Alex pops on. So jump in and take it away.
Yeah, so exciting, guys. So I'm going to start off. Let's talk about the money. Everyone's so show me the money, baby. So let's talk about the opportunity. So guys, number one, I already mentioned this is going to be the most shopped AEP season. So two things can happen to us agents. Number one, we can grow crazy or we're going to lose crazy. Okay, if you're not in the game and actively focusing on retaining your book, which we're going to talk about retention strategies at the end. I forgot to mention that. Okay. The very end of this thing, you don't want to go because I have got some great tools for you that are automated that will help you with retention. But you have got to talk to your people. Otherwise, you're going to have your competitor agent talk to them and probably flip them to a different plan. Okay. So you're going to want to talk about retaining your book of business. That is number one. Because in this business, guys, as you grow your book, the majority of your money is going to come from retention, from renewals. That's the majority. I'm probably 80% renewals, 10%, 20% new business. Okay, I write enough to maintain my book, but you're going to live off renewals. So I'm going to share the very first screen I'm going to share with you guys, and then I'm going to pull up my little Wacom tablet here so I can write. But I'm going to share with you the income. Let me get this ready here.
While you're doing that, Luis, getting that set up, a great opportunity for me to pop in. So if you haven't taken AHIP, AHIP is the federal credential that's required to sell Medicare Advantage. We do have a discount link for you. If you go to davidduford.com/ISS, you can go ahead and register for a free account. We've got great deep dive Medicare training from Luis, as well as other product training there. And one of the freebies that we give away is a $50 discount on your AHIP test. That you can only get it if you have not taken the test yet. I'll put the link in the chat, but again, it's davidduford.com/ISS.
Okay. All right, and David, I'm going to share this. I don't know, for some reason, my picture of my commissions is not showing up on the screen share, but I'm going to share screen number one, and I'm wondering if we're sharing us again. But let me know what you see. Are you seeing the commissions?
Yeah, yes, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, guys. So there was a lot of chatter on what was going to happen with commissions going to 2025. All right, they were going to take away HRAs. All this stuff was going to happen. Okay. A lot of uproar, a lot of changes happening with monies that the FMOs were going to receive, which they use again to market and train and help agents. All right, bottom line, this is where we're at right now. Okay, so excluding these states right here on the right, the national commission for somebody new, their initial year. Now, this is not to be confused with new to you. This is new to Medicare. You're going to make an annualized commission of $626. Okay, so you make that amount of money. Then after the year is up, it falls into the renewal category where you're going to make $313. Okay, that's where we're sitting. Now, if you happen to flip a senior from one plan to another, okay, you can call it flipping, you can call it, there's other names, but bottom line, you all know what I'm talking about. They're in this plan and you move them to this one because this one is better. Okay, not because you make money, it's because it's better. Then you're going to make $313 a year. Okay, half of this. All right. Now, if you live in Connecticut, you live in Pennsylvania or DC, you guys make a little bit more money. Okay. If you're in California, New Jersey, man, you guys are making way more money. Okay. $780 for an initial or new to Medicare, and then $390. Okay. In Puerto Rico, guys are making $428 and then $214. Ugh, I don't know why it's less, but it is what it is. These guys are not negotiable. These are standardized. Can't say that word right. Now I'm not tongue-tied. These are just what CMS puts out. This is what you're going to get paid. You can't say
for all the carriers, right? It doesn't matter which carrier. This is this pay you're going to get.
This is pay. This is what you're going to get. Right. Exactly. Okay. So be aware of that. Now, I am going to share a document here in a minute. In fact, I'm going to pull it up. I just thought of this thing. I created a doc with the carriers that are going to pay for HRAs, the carriers that are going to pay commissions, and which ones are not going to pay commissions. So you have got to be aware of that. And I'll put it on the chat here. David, if I put something in the chat, will it share with everybody?
Yes. Well, you throw it in the chat, then I'll share it. That's fine.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So in fact, why don't we do this? Why don't we put it behind that davidduford.com/ISS account? We'll just post it there. So that way you guys at home have to register. We'll show it, but you guys have to, if you want this for yourself, davidduford.com/ISS, sign up, free account, great training. We'll post that in the chat after the end of this so you guys can get access to it.
Okay. Perfect. Let me just pull this little chart up here.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Bianca, hey, Bianca, if I understand this correctly, her question, everything we were to enroll during open enrollment, we only get paid in January of 2025. Is that correct?
That is correct. So don't confuse the terminology is crazy, guys, because so it's I knew what you were saying. You're talking about the annual enrollment, which starts October the 15th and ends December the 7th. That is AEP. That's the annual enrollment. I'm going to guess that's what we're talking about. Because what happens is in the Medicare world, we have an OEP, an open enrollment. And that is another selling season that is the first quarter of the year. Okay. So right now, we're not talking about OEP. So I'm going to guess you were talking about AEP. So your answer is correct. You enroll somebody within the annual enrollment period, they're going to have a 1/1/2025 effective date. So they're going to start in January. Depending on the carrier, you're probably going to get your first pay sometime in January or early February. It depends on the pay cycle, but that's when you can expect it.
Right. And on top of that, Peter says, don't the Advantage carriers stop paying renewals at some point? The answer to that's no. It is a lifetime renewal. That's how the contract is designed. Luis?
Perfect. Now, med subs typically pay for 7 years.
Right.
And then they go down quite a bit. Okay. But Medicare Advantage, lifetime renewals. And back in the day, there were some that had a schedule, but they've all switched to lifetime renewals. That's why
Medicare
renewals are huge. All right.
Check. And guys, check med sups. Some states are wonky and they have different commissions. So, you know, as you investigate this, you'll find that some carriers, they'll pay 6-7 years. Others may pay a handful of years. So just a reminder. Go ahead, please.
So very, very cool. So now you're going to have to deal with my handwriting, guys. All right. So let's do some quick math here because this is what's really, really cool. If you've written 100 Medicare Advantage plans, okay, let's just say that they're all flips. Okay, we're going to annualize this 313. All right, I'm going to get my little calculator here. I'm not going to do any. Okay, so we're sitting here. You're making $31,300. Now, the majority of the carriers are going to pay this monthly. Okay, Every now and then, I can never keep track of it. Okay, every now and then, I get one carrier that will dump the entire 313. And I think it's Aetna, if I'm correct. I don't have a big book with them, but the majority of them are going to pay you every single month. So let's just do some monthly math here, which means if I take the 313 and I divide that by 12, you're looking at $26.08 a month. So if we got 100 of these, okay, it's going to equal to this very same amount that I just put here, $2,608. This is your renewal income, guys. This is your mailbox money. Okay, now let's just do some crazy math. Okay, all right. So let's say that you've got 200 heads. Well, now you're talking 52,000. Okay, I'm just taking my deal, 52,000. Let's see here. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. 2608. Yep, I'm not doing the correct math. Horrible. 62,600. Okay, let's divide that by 12. Now you've got a monthly income of $5,216. Let's take this to 300 clients. Now we're talking 93K. All right, not bad. We divide that by 12. We are at 7825. All right, let's go to 400. I will tell you, David, I don't know why, but this seems to be a magical sweet spot with a lot of agents. 400 clients. All right, we're at 125,200. And the reason why it seems to be a magical spot is because now you're in 10K a month. This is your monthly income. All right, this is mailbox money. All right, I mean, this is the opportunity. This is why you want to do Medicare, guys. So if you're sitting, underneath this or whatever, you can just kind of do the math and look at these numbers. These are not magical numbers. These are solid numbers based on our commission schedule that we've got right now. Any questions on commission, David?
Yeah. Let's set up the chat. There's some more depth that some agents want to go into. So Bianca says, and then for the rest of the year, we get paid the next month after enrolling a T65. So it's the first time the Medicare Advantage plan, they get that bigger number up front, correct?
Yes.
And then once it renews for a year, then it pays as earned at the amount that we have already discussed. Clarify any of that for us, please.
Yeah, so it's a little nuts on when you look at your commissions. It's weird. So they go in there and you're going to get, let's just say I'm enrolling T65, somebody new to Medicare. All right, I'm going to get that commission check in two parts, sometimes in the same commission. All right, they call it a true-up, where they pay you the renewal first, the second, the 313, and then once they verify with CMS that it truly is new to Medicare, they pay you the other 313, which is total is going to be the 626. So you kind of look at that and you're like, why am I only getting half? This is new. Sometimes two pay schedules, sometimes in the same schedule. Now, after the year is up, now let's say you write that in January, and the year for the remainder of that calendar year, you're not going to get a paycheck for that person. You could get a chargeback. Doesn't happen often in the Medicare world. If they've advanced you the full year, let's say that senior dies mid-year. It happens. You're going to have to pay the remaining 6 months back. Okay. Or if somebody comes in and flips your senior, okay, then yeah, you're going to have a potential chargeback. But beyond that initial year, from that point going forward, guys, you're going to get what's called as earned. You're going to be receiving that $26 a month per member paycheck every single month from that carrier.
So question from Miss DeVita. Hey, DeVita. So if you are the agent of record and the client does not change plans, do you receive anything?
Oh, yes, you sure do. So here is the beautiful thing. Guys, we're all listen to the chatter in the health world. This agent of record craziness that we have been seeing oh, they changed my agent, they stole my client. In the Medicare world, it is non-existent, guys. Okay, every carrier has agent of record protections. Okay, so two things you need to kind of, maybe to make you relax about this and build in your book. If I write a plan, let's say I put them with carrier ABC plan 1. Okay, you come in, talk to my client a couple of months later, and you decide that you want to write same carrier plan 1, thinking you're going to overwrite me, you're going to get a denial. Now, you can move them same carrier to plan 2. If that happens, I lose it. Okay. But same carrier, same plan, no go. Okay. It's not going to happen. So you have protections on there. Secondly, a lot of carriers do this, especially the big boys. Let's say you use this carrier ABC, plan 1, and they call the carrier. Let's say that they became diabetic, okay? And now there's a chronic plan, or maybe they qualified for Medicaid and now they become dual eligible, okay? They call the carrier, and if a internal agent within that carrier writes them to a chronic plan or writes them to a dual plan, you will retain the agent of record and get paid. Okay, that's a good thing. I love that. Now, I freaked out because I saw that. I'm like, am I going to get paid? Did I just lose my client? And I called my rep. And they're like, relax, Luis. It's still yours. And it's very, very true with the carriers. But if they call Mr. or Mrs. Agent, and that agent moves them to a chronic plan or a dual plan, I lost it. Now they're the new agent of record. Hope that helps you out. If it doesn't, guys, just reach out.
Yeah. Keep the questions coming, guys. One thing I wanted to ask you, I think, so AEP starts October 7th to December 15th?
15th, October 15th. October 1, agents can start discussing 2025 plans with clients. You can schedule appointments. Hey, knock yourselves out. But you can't officially take an app until the 15th.
So what is possible as far as volume for an individual producer to write during AEP? Is this something where you're only going to write 25 policies, 50 policies? Like, let's take somebody who actually wants to work really hard during this period of time. What have you seen being as the upside opportunity of how much business they can write?
It's all over the board. So we've had agents that can do 300-400 apps in AEP. Now you're going to be like, are you kidding? That they can't write that many. Well, guess what? They have pipelined for AEP. So maybe throughout the year, maybe they're final expense agents, and they couldn't sell a client because there wasn't an eligible SEP to put them in. The majority of a lot, what I think, especially a lot of agents that are associated with you, David, they're doing final expense all year long. And they pipeline their business, their clients, and prep them. Hey, in October the 1st, we're going to rock and roll. So I see these guys doing 10, 15 apps a day. I mean, but they have already got scopes. They've already done all their stuff because a scope will last for 12 months now. So they scope them, they get everything ready. And as soon as AEP starts, they are just crazy writing a ton of volume. So, but those are kind of the superstars. I would think a typical, an average agent, anywhere between 100, 150. I mean, that's respectable. Okay. But you got some that can't do that much. It's all going to be based on your marketing. It's all going to be on base, where are you acquiring your AEP people? Hey, are you out doing seminars? So I had a training this morning, had a lady who's out grassroots marketing and bringing into her seminar just by inviting people. Hey, come on over. And she's holding meetings for 8 to 10 people just by inviting them. So just depends on what you're going to be doing for marketing during the AEP.
And we're definitely going to get into the details of marketing from a grassroots standpoint and a paid marketing strategy standpoint. So that's coming later. So sit tight. We'll definitely be covering that. And one of my best agents, John Dean, as you know, he's been writing Medicare for years. I think he just did shy of 300 apps during the last AEP, and he's done that pretty close to 300 for several years. So, and his strategy is buying leads and just running them the old-fashioned way of direct mail. So, building on that, Luis, I wanted to ask you, what we've seen, at least on our side of the business and in the final expense realm, is that probably 90 to 95% of people now want to sell remotely, telephonically, at least on the final expense side. So my question to you is, how much of an opportunity is this for the person that doesn't want to go in someone's home and wants to do this remotely during the AEP season?
Oh, it's huge. So sales, there's two types of sales out, guys. That's it. There's face-to-face and there's remote. Okay. So as an agent, you're going to be doing both. Now, I'm about a 90% face-to-face agent. Okay. I have an office. I'm sitting in my beautiful office here. There's my office. I got my team back there and cubicles, but this is my office, guys. So I love face-to-face. Hey, get your butts in here, Mr. Senior. Let's have a conversation. You're in my house now. I am in control. I love that. Now, a lot of you guys don't have offices. You may be spending a ton of time in front of your windshield driving. So you are now in their houses face-to-face. All right. But there's a huge amount of agents out there that do telesales. And it's very, very doable. Here's the one thing about what happened in history a couple of years ago is COVID. So COVID, people stopped doing stuff. They stopped face-to-face. So the senior population became very familiar with remote tools. Okay. They're all Zoom savvy, FaceTime savvy. They know how to communicate telephonic or with telesales now. So a good portion of them, which is good for us, are now very, very capable with the tools of doing telesales. So if you want to do telesales, knock yourself out. You can definitely do it. It's a little bit harder in the sense that now there's disclaimers you got to put out there in that call, which we'll talk about. And secondly, you must record. You don't need the video portion of it, but the audio portion has to be recorded. I Zoom with a lot of my telesales. And so I do the audio and video, and hey, no problem. Okay, but at a bare minimum, it's got to be a recording. And we have tools for you guys to help you with that. But you can use any recording tool that you want.
Yeah, so to me, and I'll answer this one, Luis. What is the best way to do it telephonically? Because so much scam calls going on, and people don't want to answer numbers they don't recognize. Well, I'll tell you the truth is that even though that may be like an opinion that most people agree with, there's still plenty of examples from big call centers that, call tens of thousands of times a day down to the individual agent, that they're making calls, they're connecting with people, adding value, and making sales. One of the things that work well if you're an individual agent, I'll give you a couple of references. We really like Kixie, Kixie.com. It is a power dialer that helps get your numbers that are associated with the power dialer scrubbed and clear of the scam likely or telemarketer likely label that shows up in a lot of cell phones. So it increases pickup rates. That has been an incredible tool we've used in the final expense side, but there's no reason it wouldn't work on the Medicare side. So I would invest in that as a Medicare agent to get more of your leads to pick up, whether you're calling leads or just people that you've gotten referrals from. I mean, people are going to look at your number and be like, I don't know that number. So scrubbing it away from telemarketing and scam likely filters helps you get more connections, which is very, very big. So with that said,
Dave, I want to add,
we have about 5 more minutes till Alex comes on. Go ahead.
Man, time flies. Okay, I'm going to add to that because I think also, guys, seniors text. All right. So what I do is I text, hey, Mr. Senior, this is Luis. Okay. I got your lead. You filled out this card, whatever. I'm going to be calling you from this number. So they're already aware of it. So maybe think about throwing a text in there, see if that helps.
Yeah. So just again, mentioning this, and this is a great segue to bring on Mr. Alex. So let me actually do this, guys. We're doing it live here, folks, and I'm behind the scenes doing everything. I'm going to.
While you're doing that, David, I want to share, look, because we started with the opportunity of the money. I'm going to share 2 more things on that. Okay. All right. So, no, wrong window here. Sorry. Got so many windows open.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. Now I'm tracking. Okay. Commissions, guys. Here we go. Okay, here's a history, just so you guys know. I thought this was really cool. Guys, we have been getting raises every year. 2015, look what we made for a new business. We were at $408 for somebody new to Medicare. Now we're up to $626. Anyway, I just wanted to show that. Look at that. Everything has gone up. Renewals were $200. Now, $313. So,
hey, Luis, do me a favor. Click on the Zoom button. Go back there again if you don't mind.
Okay.
And then just
go back.
so people on their cell phones, they can see that. So where it says 100%, click the down upper left-hand corner. Click the down button. Go up to the upper left-hand corner of the sheet.
The other left. My other left.
The other left. Over right a little bit. You'll see it. Keep going right. Bingo. Put that on 200. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So just a little history here, guys. So look at those numbers. 408 back in 2015. Now 626. So it kind of gives you, hey, we've been getting raises every year. Man, that means we're doing good jobs. Okay, that's number one. Second thing, before I introduce Alex to our conversation here, look at this. You need to be prepared for this, guys. All right. Let me make this bigger also. I'm going to do 125. Yes, like now you guys can see this. Let's look at Aetna number one. Aetna is not going to pay for an HRA next year. Okay, an HRA, and I didn't even discuss that in the money section here, but I will soon. These are health risk assessments. These are extra amount of money that you make after you complete an application. It's a survey, and all that it's doing, it is getting the carrier a little more knowledge about that senior to see how they can take care of them more. So Aetna, no more. Okay, Cigna, yes. Okay, they are paying $75 for their regular plan, $75 for their MA only plan, and $125 for the D-SNP, and $125 for the C-SNP. This is dual eligible, Medicare, Medicaid, and a C-SNP is a chronic special needs plans if an insured qualifies based on that specific chronic condition. Typically, it's diabetes. Clover, and there's the list, guys. The one thing to be aware of is right now, look at what's happening on PDP. There are no changes to MA commissions as far as a carrier paying or not paying. PDP, yes. So with Aetna, if you go sell a new PDP, you will not get paid. Okay, just know that. But they will pay you for your existing book. But look at the bottom, guys. Look at what WellCare did to us. Okay, in my opinion, luckily for me, I didn't have a big WellCare book, but they're super competitive on their rates. But look, two big no's. They are not paying for new business. And if you have a book with them, they are not going to pay you for renewals. So you as an agent, if it is valuable to you, if you find a better plan for your insured, you need to crosswalk them or whatever you want to call it to an alternative plan that's going to take care of your senior. So start prepping for that. Get your PDP book from WellCare and start doing some work. With that, guys, all right, man, I'm going to talk about the one tool or one of the many tools that an agent needs to have. Guys, this is the way I'm going to put this. Let's assume that you are a carpenter and you show up at the job site without a hammer. That foreman's going to say, man, go home. No. I'm going to hammer this nail with my boot, or I got this rock and I'm going to hammer it. You could probably accomplish the job, but it's going to take you forever. And so with that, guys, that's my analogy to agent CRM. It is a tool that every agent has to use for multiple reasons. Okay, you must have it. It is time to step up to the big leagues. So with that, Alex, man, so glad to have you here, man.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me. I have a funny story about just the trek that I took to get on here. I am in beautiful Parsippany, New Jersey. I'm excited to talk to you guys about tech around Medicare and how we can help. Fun story. I just got to share it because if I had hair, it would be all disheveled and crazy. I live in Lower Manhattan. I took a train and then a bus to get here. And the bus driver's like, Alex, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to drop you off as close to the Sheraton in Parsippany as possible. I'm here because there's a road show happening with Cody Askins. And he dropped me off, Lewis, at the corner of the street. and I had to walk a half mile, and it's basically a highway. I'm like walking with my backpack on a highway. There is no sidewalk. There's no like pedestrian right away. There's cars passing. So I'm here. I'm alive. I'm excited to talk about Medicare.
Very cool. Well, let's share with the people on this YouTube live. We're talking Medicare. We're talking CRM now. Let's talk about let's just, some people may not even know what a CRM. So let's talk about what the CRM does, its features, and then we can dive into, hey, why must an agent have a CRM?
Yeah, great question. So a CRM is they call it's short for a customer relationship manager. And back in the day when CRMs first came out, CRM was a really simple way to just keep your data organized. And so there wasn't too much of a difference 20 years ago to what a CRM could do compared to what you could do on Google Sheets. It was just a way to organize data. Now, a CRM is really a marketing and sales platform for your book of business and to help you generate new leads. So a good CRM will not only keep your data organized, it'll help you see all of the communication that you've had with your clients in one spot, which is amazing. So like, I'm going to talk about agent CRM because that's me. But with agent CRM, you can go in and see a contact, and I can see every text I've sent to David. I can see every email I've sent, all of our Facebook communication over Messenger. I can see that all in one. All the calls that we've had are recorded. So if there's ever a question of like, what did I say to David? What did I communicate to him? What did I send him? What did he say on our phone call? It's all available inside the CRM. A good CRM also includes email. It includes text message marketing. The agent CRM, we have agent AI, which does a lot of really cool stuff with artificial intelligence. So a CRM is a great way to stay organized. And with all of the regulations out there right now and the people that are, going after agents, we want to make sure that we help you stay compliant, stay protected, and stay safe. And a good CRM does that by keeping track of all the conversations that you've had, including, your scope of appointments. You can upload that there, all that good stuff. So that's a really good quick summation of what a CRM is. And you absolutely need to have it in today's day and age, because if you are not using some form of digital way to communicate with your clients in one spot, if you're trying to duct tape different tools together, then you're going to be setting yourself up to do more work than you need to. And in today's day and age, the best thing for you to do as a Medicare agent who's serving your clients is to make sure that you're only doing revenue producing tasks and not all the manual stuff that that you used to have to do manually before all this technology came out.
Super cool. Now, why you gave the overview of what a CRM does, big picture. Why agent CRM?
Agent CRM is a CRM specifically built for insurance agents. We eat, breathe, and sleep insurance. We know it so well. And so we have made a CRM, a marketing and sales platform, specifically for insurance agents. And we know and love Medicare. And so we have built a lot of stuff for Medicare agents, including a digital scope of appointment. We know all the compliance regulations that you guys have to stay up with. So we have all of your calls recorded. We keep track of every message you send. And then we help you stay in touch with all of the people that you have in your book of business. We help you generate referrals using some really cool email campaigns. We help capture those referrals and start automating the messaging that goes out to them. Because it's not only about making sure that your clients know who you are and stay connected to you and don't talk to other agents. It's about making sure that you're also building your business using a CRM. And that's what we do with referrals. That's what we do with our ad launch tool. So we're all about helping you not only stay with your current book of business, but also giving you the tools to grow your book of business at a very, very affordable rate. Because you could buy leads, which is awesome. You could generate your own using Facebook ads, and you can also generate referrals. But a referral is not given to you unless you ask. So we got a lot of great ways to do that inside of Agent CRM.
So, guys, I shared with you guys, you can do this the hard way and the expensive way. You can hire people to be your customer relationship manager. Okay. People can do all this work, or you can do it at a fraction. I'm not talking 30%. I'm talking at a fraction of what people would cost you, and have it automated. And the people that are receiving the data from you, the text, the emails, whatever. They think you're really doing it yourself, but it's automatic. That's what's super cool. Now, I wanted to share one story, besides why they need to have it, but I'm going to share the ugly side of why you need to have this. Guys, 25 years in the business, I've been sued 3 times by insureds that claim that I didn't do something. Okay, they claim this, they claim that. Now, you guys need to know, if you're new, maybe you're not new, but when you get sued, you're going to find out very quickly that you are guilty and you have to prove your innocence. We're the bad agents, with the big money, whatever. They just think insurance companies are robbing the world. So in the eyes of a jury, we are guilty. We have to prove our innocence. Now, all of us have error and omissions insurance. This is our malpractice insurance, okay? Now, you may not think, I don't care. E&O will take care of it. Oh, you'll care, okay? The E&O carrier will give you an attorney to help defend you. Now, the attorney is going to come to you and say, hey, Alex, man, they're going to say, explain what happened, and they're going to listen to you, and they're going to believe what you said because they're your attorney. And they're going to come to you and say, all this is great, Alex. Prove it. What do you mean prove it? I'm telling you, no, your word ain't worth squat, nothing. Prove it. So you have to have something to prove that you did what they're saying you did not do. Okay, so that's where you go to CRM, and under your conversation history, you will have your text messages timestamped and saved there. You will have your email saved there. And if you happen to call your client from the CRM, that conversation is recorded, which with a matter of click, 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 you can download it and give it to your client. Man. So that's the ugly side. So if you just like, it may not be worth it for that, it should be worth it for the protection that you can give yourselves. All right. So that's why. So a little bit of, can we get into maybe some basics of the CRM? Do you have, or I could share the tools, all the different tools that are inside the CRM?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's pull it up and do it. Do you want to pull up yours? Because yours is really dialed in with all of your Medicare workflows and everything.
I can. And before I share, because we're doing this live, I'm just going to pull up my contacts because it'll show a bunch of contacts and we don't want to share any PII. And you agents know exactly what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What's PII? Yeah, PII. Yeah, I've already got it pulled up here. You know what? I'm going to go to a dummy account. I have a
smart.
Yeah, let's go to a dummy account. Let's see here, contacts. I'm going to making sure I don't have anybody that is, you know what? I have Will in here. I'm going to take him out because I don't want his number to be broadcasted out there.
Yeah. For those of you that are watching YouTube, if you put up real contact information, we'll flag your video. And so that's what we're trying to avoid by making these quick edits before we do a screen share. That way we're not showing real phone numbers and email addresses on a YouTube. So because they will flag the video. So yeah, let's give a quick demo of agency here. I'm not a demo necessarily, just kind of like going down the list of what is included inside of agency CRM.
So should we start up here with the customizer? This is something new, I think, David.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So this brand new tool, the customizer, makes it so that when you log into agency CRM and you go through your onboarding, after your onboarding, we'll take you to our click and play, which I'll show you in a second. And then you go into your customizer. Now, the customizer, this takes you about 15 minutes to fill in. You enter in your business name, your address, your email, all that good stuff. And here's the cool part, Luis. As soon as you're done filling all this information in, choosing your colors and all that, every funnel is updated with all this information. Every email sequence is updated. It's got your social media links everywhere. Like this happens like this. So for those of you that are looking at this going, okay, I know I need a CRM, but it just takes too long to set up. We have solved that problem. The onboarding process where you get your phone number and all that takes roughly an hour. The filling out the customizer takes about 15 minutes. And then your entire marketing engine is ready to go. You have everything that you need to run your Medicare business inside of Agent CRM after you do the onboarding and you fill in the customizer, and that's it. Now, one little asterisk to that is that your phone number will have to be approved through the A2P process. which used to take about 2 days, sometimes as short as 24 hours. As of today, as we're recording this, September 12th, we're looking at about 5 business days for them to approve it. That's the only thing you have to wait on before the agent CRM account is ready to rock and roll. So the customizer is a new thing. We're the only ones out there that have this. This makes it so easy to get everything personalized and branded to you so that you're off and running. You don't have to learn how to edit funnels. You don't have to dive into the automations. We encourage you to do all that, but you don't have to be a tech expert. You just fill out this form and everything is done. So that's the customizer. And then what Luis was talking about is in the conversations. Now, I don't think we should open it, Luis, because it will show contact information in there when you plug it in. But
let me
that's
unshare
where
and I'm going to double check.
Cool. So in the conversations tab, that's where you see literally everything. So that's what Luis was talking about. When your attorney taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, I need you to prove that this is what you said to the insured, you can pull that up in the conversations tab. You find the person who has lodged the complaint, then you can download all the conversations you have. You can pull out all the emails that were sent over and compile basically your case to say, look, this is exactly what I sent to them. And here's the recordings of all the calls that I had. It's in one spot. You don't got to go digging for it. You don't got to go open, your dialing system to get the phone calls or your text messaging system to find the texts and your email inbox to find the emails. No, it's all there right in one spot. Super easy to find and locate everything and send it off to, your attorney if, God forbid, you're in some sort of a complaint. On a positive note, if you're like, man, I wonder what was the last thing I sent to this prospect? I want to make sure that I'm following up with him and, giving him everything he needs to make a decision. You can see that in the conversations as well. What are the files that are sent? What's the scope of appointment? Did he end up filling everything out? Did he send you all his documents? It's all right there. We want to make your job easier. That's what the conversations tab is about. And then if you go ahead, Luis, you were going to say something?
Oh, no. I'm just taking out some of the sensitive data so we can show the conversation here. I'm working on that right now.
Okay, cool. And then as he's getting ready to pull that up, because that's a huge part of just keeping everything organized, there's also a pipeline tone. For those of you that have been, experienced in the tech world, you understand what I'm talking about with the pipeline, where you can drag and drop your card from one spot to the next as they go through the sales cycle. So for example, for like a new lead pipeline, you may have, hey, this is a new lead. I'm nurturing this lead, scheduled appointment, etc. Here's the cool part in Agent CRM, because everything is connected and talking to each other and all the tools are in one spot. When you drag a contact card in your pipeline, so let's say David Duford's in my pipeline, I can drag him from new lead to appointment scheduled. Boom, right? So now he is recognized as having an appointment scheduled. Then what if he doesn't show up for that appointment? I can put it, boom, appointment no show. Now here's the cool part about Agent CRM. Inside of the workflows, there are different triggers, right? So in this case, the trigger would be, we just dragged the card over to say David Duford didn't show up to the appointment, right? And then emails and text messages go out to David asking him, hey, would you mind rescheduling? And we just, all of the follow-up happens in an automated way inside of Agent CRM. We want to make it super easy for you to stay in touch with folks. But let's show them the conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go to conversation. So this is where, when I look at mine, this is just all my 9 staff use this. So you have all of your unread, your recents, if you star something or all, and you will have a list here of all your people.
Yep.
And you can click on it, and then you can read the conversation over here. If it's a text, if it's an email, it'll show up on this side.
Yep.
Okay.
Super easy to see everything. All the files are there for easy download. So yeah, it's everything is in one spot. We have a calendar function in Agent CRM, so your online booking system as well, which is really cool because then you don't have to go, okay, I have Calendly, I have this, I have that. Like it's all under one roof in Agent CRM. And then with your calendars as well, our AI, Agent AI, can read your calendar and see, A, when you've made yourself available, and then B, the open time slots, so that then Agent AI can actually communicate with your prospects to schedule appointments with you. So I don't want to dive too much into the AI right now, Luis, but I do want to give them a quick little taste of like what's possible when you have an online booking system, a text messaging system, and an AI-powered chatbot all under the same roof. Magic happens because now we're working in combination. All the tools are working together, talking to each other, and doing. And so when you set a goal, like I want to get this person on the appointment calendar, they all work in tandem to accomplish that goal.
Yeah, it is super cool, guys. All right, let's go into the contacts because this is huge. So we don't have it in here. I deleted some sample ones here, but look at how easy this, guys. So you would go in here and let's say you had a lead or a contact. So you go in here and then we're going to put test dummy. Okay. We're going to put test at nomail.com. And then let's go in here and put a phone number. We're going to put 210. Okay. Hopefully it would let me. Okay. So I just made that up. This is a made up number. Okay. So we hit save and now I have a contact. Okay. I can text this contact. I don't do the WhatsApp, but I can text them. I can email them. I can hit the phone number here, guys, and call them. Okay. And now we're having a recorded conversation. And I believe it even pre-fills and tells them, doesn't it, Alex? Hey, we're on a recorded call.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As soon as you start the call, that little message comes up. Hey, this call is being recorded. So they know.
Okay. And then we've got a lot of stuff here that we've built out that, you know, this is not the platform to share it, but man, there's a lot of workflows that I have put together that when you get Agent CRM, you now will have the ability to put these workflows to work for your clients. Okay. Alex was talking about the opportunity section. And this is where to me, this is like a big chalkboard or a big writing board with that you use your markers, and I used to have one back in the day where we would use sticky notes and we would have them in this category and we move them over there and then stickies would fall. Where was it? It's a mess. Now, when you have a client, you can put a client here. So for example, you're looking at this pipeline right here or opportunity. And these would be clients that were for some reason enrolled with Aetna. And then I would have somebody here, a little box here. Well, let's say that this is an ACA deal, but we have many different opportunities. But let's say that they owed me something. I could grab them and drag them over here. That's what he was talking about earlier. Or you could drag them over here. And then every time you move them into a different stage, you can make things happen in each stage. So when I grab somebody here and I move them over here, it's going to send them emails and text messages. Hey, buddy, you better be sending me your income or you're going to lose your insurance. Okay. So a lot of things that you can do here with this. Is there anything here, Alex, that we need to talk about? Any other features? Oh, dude. Well, I'm going to let you answer, but I'm going to make sure we go there because this was the big differentiator for me between choosing this CRM with you guys and other CRMs. But you go ahead if there's anything else we need to chit chat. Yeah. Gotcha. 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, I would say just a couple of the things to keep in mind. Try a free trial of Agent CRM, check it out. But you got automations in here, so workflows that can, really help to drive your business. One of the ways that Luis actually used the combination of opportunities and automations is he set up a pipeline for his new Medicare clients. And when they would sign up, he would drag them into one of two columns. Either one, they bought a Medicare policy with dental, or two, they bought a Medicare policy without dental. And if they bought a policy without dental, it triggered an email and text sequence that would encourage them to sign up for a call with him to go over the dental plans that he has available. And I don't remember the exact number, but he sold so many dental policies by just tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey, we should talk about what I can do for you for dental. But Luis, I know you want to talk about our support. I'll let you share about the support because I love hearing you talk about it.
I like it. So reason I chose these guys, because this is complicated, guys, and we're insurance agents. But number one, if you go here to the training videos, Alex has the branding library and they have the Agent CRM section, which is free to you to enroll. And you will get the overview of all these tools, very in-depth, okay, little videos and wordings and stuff so that you can learn how to do this. But this is how we learned to do this thing. So when I had a crazy idea, like what he just mentioned, hey, I want to send all of my MedSup clients an email and a text letting them know that they don't have dental. For some reason, maybe I didn't cross-sell it, or they told me no at the time of sale. Then what I can do is I'm going to put them into an automation that emails my MedSup clients and tells them, hey, you don't have dental and vision. Here, do this. It cross-sells it. But I was like, how do I make that happen? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that? So you go to the live Q&A. Okay. They used to have this in different hours and whatever, but now it is so easy.
All day.
Look, all day. Click it. I think there's a 1 hour gap. Maybe you let your guys eat lunch. Is that
yeah,
it?
They were like, hey, we need to eat. I'm like, okay, fine. We can eat some lunch.
Yeah. 1 hour time. They got to eat a little bit. But aside from that, look, you can join here. It's a 4 hour window. You join, you end up joining a Zoom. You log in, they call your name out. Hey, Alex, how can I help you? And you're like, okay, you can, this is the issue. And then what I like about it is they're going to do two things. Typically, I would say 90% of the time, they're going to click. They're going to take control of your computer, and you're just going to see your mouse moving. And then there's a solution. And if it's a complicated issue, they're like, look, we're going to work on it on the back end. We'll send you a Loom video recording on how we did it, and it's fixed and explainer, and then you get an email a day later or whatever, and it's done. So very, very cool. This is what I like, guys. Okay, this is what I like about this thing. This is not Alex's side project. For a lot of CRMs, it's a side project. Yeah, it's a moneymaker. No, this is all they do, guys. So when you use David's link to acquire Agent CRM, we're going to give you the workflows. And David, you maybe want to share that, but we're going to give you my Medicare workflows that cash flow. I thought I should have thought of that, but we got Medicare. We got workflows that cash flow for Medicare. We got workflows that cash flow for ACA. I'm a little weak on the life. I don't do a lot of life, but we're having our best life year ever right now because of my workflows. Right. And we'll have dental and vision. We'll have all that for you. So guys, so many reasons to get the CRM. David will hook you up with his link and get you set up.
Here's the link. It is www.agent-crm.com/David Duford. Okay. It's in the chat again. I'll just repost it in case you just popped on live and you didn't see it. There it is. And I think we covered those questions. Like, is it set up already like this? Mm-hmm. Is there the SMS workflow? So all of that is included specifically for Medicare. So it's just basically plug and play with great service, which is, guys, exactly why we have Alex on here, because Agent CRM does a good job. So Alex, anything you want to add before we wrap it up? Appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on, David. I'm so excited to see everyone who joins Agent CRM in our Facebook group that we have set up for our users. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, David.
Alex, thank you. Appreciate it, man. All right, Luis, let's keep pushing forward, pressing forward. So we've talked about the opportunity for Medicare, this AEP. We've talked about some things to consider, like commissions, who's paying, who isn't. Where are we moving now? I know a lot of questions are going to be related around how to sell Medicare. We have, of course, Oscar coming up later to talk about specifically marketing strategies for Medicare during this AEP. Where are you taking us now?
Man, here's where I want to take you. Can I do a shameless plug?
You can, yes.
Man, guys, I am sharing my YouTube channel. Okay. David mentioned earlier, I would love for you guys to go and subscribe to my channel. And here's what I do on the channel, guys. I am constantly posting ACA and Medicare stuff. So I get questions. We have a ton of agents that we work with. They ask me questions, and I like, instead of just writing a long email, I'd rather do a video and I share it. So I post stuff on here. If you would do me the favor, guys, all of David's viewers, go on here, go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/ and then the @ symbol. Think Medicare, think ACA. You can also search me with just my name.
It's in the chat, by the way.
Say again?
Yeah, we put it in the chat, guys, watching live. Or to just look in the chat, see it, click it, go, hit that subscribe button. Definitely worth it. So awesome. And then also, again, reminder, if you're looking for a $50 discount on AHIP, or if you want that spreadsheet that shows which carriers are paying and aren't paying for PDPs, HRAs, et cetera, go to davidduford.com/ISS. It's a free account. You can register, and then we're going to post that information up later after this is over so you can get access to it. So, Luis, Yes.
I'm going to share with you the commission chart with you right now.
Okay. Yeah. We'll post that up later.
I'm just typing that away, but I'm getting this for you guys right now. Give me 1 minute, David. I am posting it. Okay, so where are we going to go with this, guys? I think where we're going to go with this is let's do AEP prep. Okay, so we're about to hit AEP, and guys, you have got to be ready for AEP. Okay, so let's talk about what you should have in your toolbox. Okay, so that's what I'm going to share with you guys next. Okay, so super cool. So number one, David mentioned AHIP. Guys, I'm going to share a story, and it almost cost me about 15K. Okay, maybe not a lot, but still, I felt it was a lot. But make sure you get your AHIP done. Now, I will give you some tips and tricks if you haven't done it. Number one, it's the Medicare 101. If you're wondering, if you're thinking about getting into this business and you're wondering what it is the test that gives you the foundation on Medicare. It's 5 modules, okay, and they're no joke, okay? I can't remember the names on them, but there's 5 modules, and you take quizzes in each one. Print each quiz. Okay, PDF it, screenshot it, however you want to do it. A lot of the test questions come from that. So that's number one. Okay, number two, you can save the modules as slides or PowerPoint. Save them, do that. And what I would do is, guys, take this very serious. Okay, it is no joke. It's a 50-question test. You got to score a 90 or better, and it's not easy, and you get 3 tries. Okay, so make sure you do that. Once you get your AHIP done, guys, if you're a new agent, you're going to need to connect with every carrier that you got and link it. If you've done this in the past, at the very bottom of that, you're going to get transmit buttons, and you're going to transmit the results to every carrier that you're with. All right. Now, David, I am going to share a ready to sell checklist with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show it to you guys, and then I'll share it with you. Oh, well, let me continue first. So you transmit the results to the carrier. The carriers acknowledge that they've got it. And then what you must do is you must get certified with every carrier. They're going to have some certifications, of course, stuff that you're going to have to take. And then you're going to have to pass that, get certified, and then you're going to wait for your ready to sell email. Okay. Where I messed up is I forgot to do one carrier. Okay. But luckily I caught it. I would have lost all of my renewal commission. I mean, it's just, woof, it would have just vanished. So I created, and the way I lost it, guys, stickies. Well, you can't see my desk. I got 5 stickies here right now, but I had a sticky with check marks, and I lost the sticky. And I thought I had done it all. I'm like, you know what? Sticky notes is not the most efficient way. So I did create and I'm pulling it up right now, a little spreadsheet. And I have a template, and I will be glad to share it with you guys. Here we go. I will open it up, and then I will share with you, David. But here's a little template that I created so that you guys can stay on top of it and not mess up like I did. Okay, here we go. Very little simple template. And now I'm going to put it in the copy link, and I'll put it in the chat here. There it is, David, and it is called, I'm going to call it RTS template. There we go. Okay, so here you list your carriers here on the left. You put the date that you completed your certification. Put the date that you received, or maybe put a yes or whatever when you received the ready to sell. And then here's what I do. Guys, with my 1,000 clients, my renewal commissions, I do not want to jeopardize them for a screw up. So what I do is I do a final call. I call the carrier, call United. Hey, can you just do me a double check and make sure that I'm ready to sell? And they hop in their system. Oh, you're good to go. By the way, what is your name? My name is Betty. Okay, and I type Betty's name, and I may put the time or whatever. But this is just a good way to track you're ready to sell. Do not sell if you're not ready to sell. Number one, okay, we did have an agent who did that, sold about 20 policies and wasn't ready to sell. No commissions. They become house accounts to the carrier. Okay, so make sure you're ready to sell. All right, secondly, David, this is huge. Pay attention, guys. All right, put your ears to the speaker here. Okay, besides your Medicare carriers, you need to make sure that you recommend that they can get. I use a couple, but Any ones that are on your hot list?
I think probably the easiest ones are Mutual of Omaha, Aetna. There's probably a few others. You know, it's not my main source of focus anymore, but that would start with those at least.
Okay, and you can get with David on that one. He can set you up. But he was right. Mutual of Omaha is great. United Healthcare, okay, they're great. The only problem is, and it's not a problem, but they have to be AARP members. Only way you can get the MedSup. So they're either an existing member or they're going to become a member of AARP to get the MedSup. But their United rates are great, at least in my area. Aetna, they have one. Cigna, Heartland, there's a bunch of carriers. Just pick a handful and roll with it, guys. Okay. The other carrier that I highly recommend, and this is my personal preference, but I'll let David maybe throw this one in, is you have to make sure that you have a very good dental and vision carrier. Okay. This is why your MAPDs they have dental and vision embedded, but your MedSups do not. You've got to offer your senior MedSup clients dental and vision. It's huge. I love using Emeritus, however you want to call it. It's very, very good. They have a senior product that includes an endorsement for hearing aids. It helps them out a little bit, not very much, but there's a little something in there. It also has a vision product. David, is there another carrier that you also would recommend your viewers to connect with?
No, I think that's good.
Okay, so you need a contract. Hey, get with David. He'll hook you up on that deal. And then finally, here's I know your ears to the speaker right now, guys. You must have a hospital indemnity carrier. And there's two that I'm aware of that are very good. I exclusively use one, but Heartland National and GTL. Those are two. There's other ones out there, but those are the two that I would stick with. And we're going to talk about selling and putting all this together down the road here in an hour or so. But you have to have an indemnity plan. These indemnity plans are plans that you're going to offer your Medicare Advantage clientele to help meet some of the copays. And you can do it at the time of sale. Okay. And then, of course, you want to have your final expense carriers. Okay. David's got a hot list on that one. You can connect with him. But these seniors need final expense. You just can't sell it at the time of your appointment, but you can sell it anytime afterwards. Okay, so that's my AEP carrier preparation. Here is the other prep. Okay, I have this ready. So right now, guys, we are September the 12th, right around this time frame of the year. Let me just get to the right screen. Okay, this is what is happening. Okay, and I would urge you to be prepared. Let's see how many of our viewers are paying attention. Guys, what do you think? Put it in the comments. What do you think is happening right now? What do you think our seniors are getting right now in the mail from the carriers? Can you check the comments? Let's see if anybody's paying attention to me. Or maybe I put them to sleep, David.
Yeah, a little delay here, so it's going to take a minute.
Little delay. I'm going to wait. I am not going to move forward, guys. We will just stay here. We'll look at each other if you don't respond. Come on. One of you guys. It's a 4-letter acronym. Help me out here.
ANOC.
Yes.
Man, they are listening.
There you go. You got to do a little happy face. You know, David, back there, right? I know you got a hot lead that you can share with somebody. That guy should get, or that girl should get a hot lead from you for getting the answer right. All right. All right, let's go. Your ANOC. Okay, so guys, I am sharing with you right now an ANOC letter. Okay, this is an ANOC stands for the annual notice of change. Your clients are getting this. And we already told you at the very beginning, guys, that this is going to be the most shop season. So you need to go through the ANOCs of all your carriers, or like I couldn't pull the Humana ANOCs. I was trying to get that ready. But what you can do is you can pull the 2024 SOB, the summary of benefits, and pull your 2025 and do your own ANOC comparison. So check out what your seniors are getting right now. So they get this letter. Okay. And literally what it's going to do, it's going to tell them, hey, these are your changes for next year. All right. So number one, you are currently enrolled in this plan right now. Okay. Next year, there will be changes to plans and costs. Please see page 8, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Let's go to number 1 is, let's go here. Oh, look at this. They are renaming the plan. Something you need to be aware of, okay? I don't know why United does that. They keep changing their names. All right, it is what it is. So let's go to page 8. So look at this, guys. We're not going to do a lot of this, but I'm going to tell you, this is why it's going to be the most shop season, okay? You all should already know the big changes on the prescription engine, whether it's inside an MAPD or in a standalone PDP. And I will talk about that here in a minute, okay? But look at what's happening. The premiums are the same. That was great. Talks about the max out of pockets, okay? What we're seeing in the industry, guys, is our seniors are going to pay a little bit more, or they're going to get less benefits. So for this particular plan, it's $100 increase in the max out of pocket. Easy, tolerable. Look at this. Doctors are the same. Specialist visits are the same. Inpatient hospital is the same. Okay, check your plans, guys. This may not be the same. So you've got to be aware of what's going to happen to your seniors so you can focus on that group. Okay. I'll talk about prescription drugs. That's going to be my next topic here, David. Let's continue. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Max out of pocket. I already know that one. Here we go. Ambulance, $5 increase. Easy to swallow. Look at this, guys. Dental. You're going to see a lot of this. I just found out Devoted went from $4,000 to $1,500 on their dental. That's a huge reduction. So look at what's happening here. In this plan, it's going down by $500. Do I think that's a big deal? I don't think so, but it may be a big deal for your senior. So you may, if they're relying on dental for next year, this may be the key to maybe be prepared to move them somewhere else. Okay, let's go to hearing. Look at the hearing aids. Hearing aids, I think actually got better. Look, $99 to $1,249 copay. Now it's $829. And it's going to depend on your copay, on what kind of hearing aid you're going to get. Vision did decrease. I must have missed vision, but who knows? Okay, I'm not going to go every single one. But bottom line, guys, is you get the idea here. It is a comparison of the plans from one year to the next. So you agents need to be prepared on what's happening with your plans. Cool. Do we have any questions on this? Because I'm going to dive into what's the big change on prescriptions.
Yeah, guys, post your questions in the chat if you got any. This is from Termia. Devoted is not doing allowance here. There's a reimbursement. So check Devoted out closely. The duals here are only getting a $500 flex card.
Yep. So I didn't even know. I have one Devoted plan. I'm heavy United. And not because I love United. I mean, I do. But it's because in my area, in my county, they're the beast. Okay.
Yeah, can you explain that just real quick for the newbies here? I mean, just because one product is good in one market doesn't mean it's good in another, right? Can you kind of just expand on kind of the competitive pressures and how agents should select carriers?
I can. So we always recommend, if you're a new agent, start with the big carriers, the United, Humana, Aetna, Cigna, maybe WellCare, Amerigroup. Get the big ones. The regional ones you can always add later. But bottom line here, guys, the plans are based by county. Okay. So number one, when you get out there and you start talking about plans, you're going to narrow them down by county. So in my area, I already know United is the beast, my county. If I go to the county next to me, United can be worthless. It could be another carrier. Okay. So again, it's the division or the lineup of carriers changes county by county. Now, I had an agent that worked here in my office. Okay. His primary, mine is United. His was Humana. Now, is he wrong or am I wrong? No, there isn't any wrong. Okay. Because besides having your own personal lineup, you're going to be running, you're going to be cross-referencing your lineup against the doctors and the meds of your insurance. So I may want to always go to number one, but if the doctors aren't in there for my client or the meds aren't in there, I may not go with number one. I may go with number two. I'm going to see who in my lineup is best for my client. It just happens that I hit home runs most of the time with United. So hope that gives you an idea. Also tells you why we want you guys to get 4 or 5 carriers, because you never know.
Right.
All right. You guys ready for the big change, the PDP change?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, guys, 2024. And David, no, I got 3% of this battery. If I lose camera, guys, I'm going to step right down there. I got a charger. I'm going to swap batteries out.
You want to go ahead and why don't you do it now before you get into
okay.
the thick of it?
And then maybe we get some questions. Perfect.
I'll filibuster here while you do that. So, so just as a couple of reminders here, Luis will be freeze framed until, yep, that's gone. Let me just go ahead and pin myself here so you have to see that. Hope you guys are enjoying the training so far. If you are, please consider hitting the like button. That helps share this content across YouTube so that more people who are looking at Medicare content see this and then watch it and then get great training that otherwise, in many cases, wouldn't get. So thank you for that. Reminder, if you want the RTS template, the commission payout template, the AHIP discount, go to davidduford.com/ISS to get set up. It's a free account. We'll give everything you need there for free. And then Luis is back now, so I can
I'm back.
Stop selling you. So go ahead, Luis.
100% battery life. I love it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What happened here? So David, I think I'm small. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So PDP, guys. PDP are prescription drug plans. Okay. Standalone. But we also, in our MAPDs, we have a prescription engine built into it. So I'm going to use my little tablet here. Let me find my pen, and I'm going to do a quickie explanation. Oh, man. You guys that are just tuning in, what you're seeing on the screen right now, guys, is income. You got 400 clients in your book, you're making about 10K a month. Okay. Now, I don't know how to save this thing, but guys, also remember we have HRA money and we have HIT money. We have dental and vision money. We got a lot of money to talk about, but let's clear this screen now. Give me a clear all my drugs. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go chit chat here. Come on. Connecting my board. Give me 1 minute. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, so 2024, 2025. Okay, so right now we have, and David, are you still there by any chance?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Ask our viewers.
Absolutely.
What do you guys, so we got a lot of smart agents in here. What is the one thing, in 2024, we have these 4 things on a prescription plan. In 2025, we only have 3. What was removed? And don't be smart, guys. Don't tell me, oh, number 4. Okay, that's not what I want to hear. Okay, all right. I know somebody was going to do that. Okay, don't tell me number 4. But what stage did we lose that I think is a good thing for the clients, but not a good thing for the carriers? And this is why we're seeing a lot of shopping and a lot of benefits decrease and more cost to our seniors on the medical side.
Yeah, if you think you know what this is, throw it in the chat.
All right, throw it in the chat, guys. Let's see here. I love interaction. All right.
For me, it says donut hole gone.
Beautiful. I give them a hot lead, David, or a smiley face. That you nailed it. So 2024, we had 4 stages. We had the deductible stage. Okay. We had the initial coverage stage. We had the donut hole. Okay. And then we had the catastrophic stage. All right. So just so you can know what's going on, deductibles, they ranged. I think the high was kind of in the 500, somewhere in there. But a lot of the plans, at least for me, had no deductible. Okay. What I'm seeing going 2025, I am seeing no deductible on specific tiers. So I notice now that my flagship plan here in my county had no deductible whatsoever. And now I'm seeing a deductible. I'm seeing a 0 for tiers 1 and tiers 2, but I'm seeing, I think it was a $400 and something deductible for tiers 3, tiers 4, and tiers 5. So medications always fall in one of the 5 tiers. Sometimes you'll even have a tier 6. Okay. And that's a good thing because those are usually 0 all year long. But now they're going to cost the insureds more. Initial coverage. All right. The way it worked, initial coverage, guys, this is you had a bucket of money. Okay, this bucket was $5,030. It's like a savings account. So when you went to go buy your meds at the pharmacy, they would deduct money from your bucket. Okay, and then you would pay. Okay, so you either had a copay, maybe it was $0, $3, 47, who knows, whatever it was. But they deducted the cost from here. And then when you used all this money up, you ended up in the donut hole. When you got in the hole, so think of this hole like a hole in the ground, and it was $8,000 deep. Okay, and you had to fill it up. Okay, and when you were in the donut hole, the bad thing that happened is that now you were paying 25% of the cost of the drugs. So if you were paying $0 for a medication because that was your copay, but that medication costs $100, well, now when you're in a donut hole, you're paying 25. Man, and then when you got in catastrophic, you were good. You paid nothing. All right, so we're rocking beautiful, beautiful thing. 2024. Okay, now it got even better. So here's what happened. 2025. Now we got some tiers. Okay, now we've got this thing right here where you're going to pay copays and coinsurance. But since there's no donut hole, here's what happens. Guys, when our insureds spend $2,000, they're done. That's it. They spend $2K. All right, they're done. Let me go and show you this here from a summary of benefits from one of my carriers. Okay, let me make sure this is 2025. Nope, that's 2024. You know what, we'll do it from the ANOC. Okay, so here's the ANOC. Okay, so for this particular plan, okay, I was a little off, 340. Okay, let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yep, you sure are. So 2025, and this is particular to this plan, guys, because these deductibles are all over the board. So I went from no deductible to a 340 deductible. You see here that tier 1, during this stage, you pay $0 for tier 1 and $0 for tier 2. Tiers 3, 4, and 5, you have to pay the cost until you reach the deductible. Then what happens is you pay copays. Okay, you're going to continue paying copays. You're going to continue paying copays, and then you're going to get into this stage. Okay, once you have paid $2,000 in cost, you move to the catastrophic stage. Okay, catastrophic stage, look at what it says here. You will pay a maximum of $35 for your insulins that are covered in that formulary, except the 2025 catastrophic drug payment stage where you pay $0. So back to the whiteboard. Once they pay $2K, then the insureds pay $0. Guys, this is a great thing. This is good for the seniors. It is bad, okay? It is bad for the carriers because who is absorbing all this savings? The carriers are absorbing it. So how are they making up for it? They're making up for it by reducing benefits or increasing some of the costs on the medical for our seniors. That's what's happening. That's big, big picture. David, any questions on that?
Sorry, just posting that into the chat to see if there are any. So far, no. Although Clifton did say they are also adding the prescription payment plan too.
Forgot about that. So yes, so they call it, I think the MP3 or something like that. Yes, they're giving our seniors the ability to spread the payments over 12 months on that $2,000. So if they go get a medication up at the very front of it, and it's just like, I can't pay $1,000. They're going to allow the seniors to spread that, and it's going to be done at the carrier level. It is, I at this point, David, I don't even understand it. I'm just going to tell my insurance, hey, you want to get it? Awesome. Just get with the carrier and they'll set you up with it. But yes, it's applicable to your your tiers 3, 4, and 5, and it's just spreading that $2,000, potentially up to $2,000. It could be, you know, maybe it's a $600 med and they can't afford it, so they split it 50-50. And you just pay the carrier that money back. So yes, that is another big change. Thank you for bringing that up. You should get a smiley face for that one too.
Yeah, Tremia, thank you.
Anything else?
Richard says, great, easy way to explain ANOC PDP to clients that never shopped.
Yep. Now here's the deal, guys. You've got to make sure you're doing this. Okay. It's important that you're sharing with your clients what the changes are going to be. So yesterday I got a couple of calls from my clients and they're like, Luis, what do I do? I'm like, let me tell you one thing. Are you happy with your plan? And they're like, yeah, we're happy. I'm like, then there's nothing major happening. Okay. And because all the carriers are going through this. So you as an agent, you probably got a tougher time this year. We agents have a tougher time because we have to compare all of our plans. Okay. So know the differences. And again, if you, let's just say you're an agent, you're selling all over the country. Now I sell in one county, guys. Okay. But imagine if you're an agent all over the country and you're selling in that state, that county, well, you're going to have a tool where you pull up the 2024, 2025, and you're going to have to be quick on explaining that unless they give you the ANOC. Okay. If they give you the ANOC, well, then it's a piece of cake. But if they don't, you're going to have to pull that summary of benefits, this summary of benefits, and you're going to have to do that quick comparison there for you. If you're not doing it, guys, another agent will do it and they're going to take your business. Okay.
So why don't we switch gears here now, unless there's any questions or anything you want to add with this conversation point. I think we got about 30 minutes till Oscar's coming on. He's going to talk marketing specifically for Medicare. So if you're looking to buy leads, self-generate your own leads, kind of wondering what's working, please make sure you're there for that. That's going to be in about 30 minutes from now. So in the meantime, I know there were some questions in the chat about grassroots marketing, how to generate leads and interest, maybe outside of buying leads. And you have plenty of experience doing that. Or we can pivot and talk about a basic sales process to sell Medicare. Is it Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Sale or Medicare Supplements? Which one do you want to hit?
Let's do the presentation. I'd like to hit the marketing at the very end along with retention. But I think the sales process is important. Maybe as a refresher for the existing agents, but for the new agents are like, how do I present? They may not know how to do that, David.
Right. Yeah. Perfect.
So let's get into that. Okay, so let me pull my little presentation up that I have for here. So as I bring this up, guys, let me tell you, okay, I've got it right here. Okay, I'm loading this baby up. Okay, so here's where I think agents need to go with stuff. Okay, let me sharing my Google slideshow here. Yep, we're right on. So here's the deal, guys. When you're out there talking to seniors, this right here, takes a couple of minutes, but you should educate your seniors when you're sitting with them. Okay, I sit there and I sit with them. I tell my seniors, hey, what do you know about Medicare? Okay, if they're new to Medicare, most of them have no clue. So you may want to go through this Medicare 101. Hey, this is who can get it. Now we don't have time to go over each of these slides, but you're going to want to talk about the parts of Medicare. You got to remember, guys, there's a lot of levels of confusion with seniors. The biggest one is the alphabet. A, B, C, D. How about G, F, and N? F, G, N. There's confusion. So you explain, hey, what's A? What's B? What does it cover? That's what I do. I get in here and I explain to my seniors. And of course, this is all 2024 stuff, but 2025 is coming. But all this is explained to the seniors, okay? So I'm just doing a 101, okay? But I'm doing high level. I'm talking about MAs. I'm talking about, these are med subs over here. And I'm talking about the pros and the cons of MAs. Give me 1 minute, my mouse died. Okay, now I got to do it with the other hand. Okay. And so I'm going through here. I'm talking about late enrollment penalties. It's literally a 5-minute conversation. Now, the reason I'm doing this, guys, you all don't have to. Okay. The reason I'm doing it is I'm going to make myself different from 99% of the agents out there. When they get done with this little Medicare 101, they should have an understanding of A and B. And the biggest deal about A, B, C, D is they think they need all 4 parts, or they think they only need A and they don't want to get the B because the B costs money. Okay, so I'm setting my stage up. Now I'm going to be going into the next section. Okay, this is my presentation, guys. This right here is my baby. Okay. All right. So this is my baby right here, guys. So, all right. And I'm going to call my senior Betty. So I'm talking with Betty right now. So Betty, after I've done my Medicare 101, and I have no idea which way we're going to go with this thing, because I'm not a pusher of one option or a pusher of another one. I want them to tell me which way to go, and then I'm going to go down that path and knock it out, because there's no right or wrong. So every senior that has Medicare A and B, they have 2 options, and really they have 3. Okay. The third one, and I call this running naked, running with strictly Medicare A and B only. And I'm like, Mr. Senior, no, we don't want to see you naked. Not at 65. No, 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 no. Okay. It's not a good thing. So really it's option 1, option 2. All right. So let's get in here. Here's what I do with my senior. Hey, Mr. Senior, here's what we're going to be doing. I give them a little agenda, so they don't want to, like, can't you hurry up and you get out of here? I want to watch Gunsmoke or Price is Right, whatever. Let's get this done. But here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about Advantage plans. We're going to talk about prescription drug plans. We're going to talk about med subs. We're going to talk about hospital indemnity plans, cancer, heart attack and stroke plans, dental and vision, and even life insurance. I can't handle your life insurance right now. We can always take care of that later. But if you want to talk about it, we can. I just can't sell you a life plan. Okay, but you should have one. Okay, next one. Here we go. Come on. Oh, there we go. So what are the parts of Medicare? Again, Mr. Senior, I just explained to you. So remember, we have Part A, Part B, we have Part C, we have Part D. Okay, I'll do a little quick refresher. Again, I just told them about 5 minutes what it was, but now I want to capture some understanding. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, Mr. Senior. We are going to discuss what Part A and Part B covers. We're going to discuss what it doesn't cover. That's why it's in red. We're going to discuss your out-of-pocket costs. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how Part C, Part D, and Medicare Supplement, which are now known as Medigap plans, how they will fill these gaps in coverage and minimize your financial risk. Is that okay with you, Mr. Senior? Miss Betty, is that okay? Okay, yeah, it's okay, right? Yes, it's okay. Okay, great. Okay, let's continue. So again, what is Medicare? Again, Miss Betty, you already have it. Look, I'm looking at your card right now. You've got A and B, and I can just literally push off on this thing, but I'm going to tell them, look, with this Medicare card, you can go see any doctor, you can see any provider, you can go to any facility in the US that accepts Medicare. Very, very cool. But remember, we got a lot of holes here with Medicare. Okay, next one. Now, I put this in here because sometimes you will get some people that are under 65 and they have Medicare. Okay, and you will get some people asking me about this. So understand that there's 2 types of disability that people get that are under 65. They either get SSI or SSDI. And if you look at the very bottom of this little chart, I know it says 2022, it hasn't changed. Well, I take that back. Maybe the average benefit has changed, but I don't care about that. What I care about is what it says on the bottom right. The bottom right, if they are receiving SSDI after the 24-month waiting period, they will get Medicare automatically. Okay, if they are receiving SSI, they get Medicaid, no Medicare. So I get calls from agents, hey, they've been on this receiving disability for 5 years, and why don't they have Medicare? They got the wrong, they have the wrong one. They have SSI. They don't have SSDI. Okay, and all that I know is, one, the SSDI you get because you worked and then you became disabled, where the other one is you never worked. That's about the extent that I know, and I don't even know if that's right or not, but I don't care. I just know SSDI gets me Medicare after 24 months. We'll continue. Okay, if they already got it, I bypass this because they already got it. Okay, we go. I would also bypass this if they already have Medicare, but this is when their Medicare begins. So you should know, guys, that there is a 7-month window to enroll in Medicare. The month that they turn 65, 3 months before and 3 months after. Okay, the 3 months before, okay, they get it anytime during this period, they get Medicare the first of their birthday month. If they enroll during the birthday month, they get it the first of the next month. And then 3 months after, same thing continues. If they miss this 7-month window, they're screwed. Sorry, no dice. You can't get it ever again. Well, I take that back. You can't. Okay, David. Again, we're going to go to our viewers here. When can they get Medicare back? Let's see. Post in the comments, guys. We want your interaction. When can a senior get Medicare if they missed the period when they were supposed to enroll? I'm looking for 3 letters or maybe the time period. What's the election called, and or when is the time period? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it gives me time to refresh.
Take a little breather.
Little breather. Man, I'm doing a lot of chatting here. All right. We got any comments? It's coming here. But so they're not completely screwed, guys.
SEP.
Which one?
Special election period.
You got 2 of the 3 letters right. Get rid of the S and give me another letter.
O.
OEP. No, not OEP, not O. It's not a vowel. It's a consonant. Consonant. What?
Oh.
Not a vowel. What's it? If it's not a vowel, it's a consonant. Is it? Am I saying that right, David?
Consonant.
If it's
yeah.
Consonant. There you go. Come on.
OEP, SEP, AEP. Man, I don't know. Nobody knows.
GEP.
GEP.
The GEP, the General Election Period. All right. So you guys, if you learn one thing today, remember this. The GEP is the first quarter of the year. So senior Mr. window, they're going to have to wait until January. January, they go to Social Security. They go get their A and B. It starts in February. They go in February, it starts in March. If they go in March, it starts in April. If they screw up and don't get it done in that first quarter, they're done for another year, and they have to come back in the GEP of the next year. Cool. All right, so you know that. So it's not a special election. It's called the General Enrollment Period. Okay? All right, so know that, guys. Then what you can do is if they get a 2-1 start date for their Medicare, then you can go in there and you can enroll them delayed Part B, or you find an election to get them in. There's elections for this. So you can get them enrolled 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. All right, cool. Let's continue. So again, if they're drawing Social Security, guys, all right, they will automatically get A and B. Let's say they do an early draw. If they're not, it's a manual enrollment or a non-automatic. And here are the 3 ways to enroll. Now, if they are already showing you their Medicare card, bypass this. Okay, it's a waste of time. All right, but there's 3 ways to enroll, guys. They can go and do it online, and there's the site. They can call the 1-800 number and set up a telephone appointment. And the recommended way is to actually go physically to your local Social Security office and enroll. Okay, because they can tackle a lot of things there. They can tackle your A and B, and they can also tackle your retirement if you're going to draw or wait or whatever. All right, let's continue. Now, there's some exceptions to when they need to get their A and B. And there's the major exception to A and B, guys, is going to be if they work for an employer. If they're still working for an employer, then if it's an employer that has 20 or more employees, they just get A and they can get B later. If it is a small employer, 19 or less, then they'll probably need to get the A and B. Okay, and that's it. They start paying for their Part B premium, but then the health plan of that employer becomes primary, Medicare, secondary, something like that. Either way, that's if they are working for an employer. And then when they leave that employer, there's 2 forms they need to fill out, and they will get delayed Part B without penalty. All right, let's continue. So I am leading up to my final, what I call the money maker. So, Mr. Senior, again, another reminder here. Your Part A consists of your inpatient hospital care, skilled nursing, your home health care, and hospice. Your Part B, these are your doctors. These are your specialists, mental health. This is the ambulance. This is the DME, your outpatient, preventative stuff. You get all this with this great little Medicare card that you've been waiting for to get all your life. All right. Now, let's go over some of the costs. All right. This will get updated for 2025. Okay. So check this out. So Part A premium 2024, it's usually free. If you don't work enough quarters, you're going to have to pay. There's a deductible. I bet you guys didn't know, but I will tell you for sure, the seniors had no idea, but there is a $1,632 deductible per benefit period. Okay, this is, they have the ability to get 6 of these in 1 year if there's breaks between treatment, 60-day breaks. Not a good thing. They had no idea they had to pay that. Then there's hospital coinsurance. So days 1 through 60, after the deductible, they pay nothing. And then when they use those days up, they go into 61 through 90, they pay $400, and then it goes up to $800. And then they get to a point where they're screwed and they got to pay 100% of the bill. Not a good thing. Okay. There's skilled nursing stuff there. Okay, so that's that one. I'm running out of time, so I'm going as quick as I can. Now we go to Part B. Part B, most people have to pay a premium, Betty. Okay, it's $174 this year. I think it's gone down to $170 for 2025. But right now it's $174. Okay, and there is a deductible. But here's the good thing. Finally, one good thing about having just Medicare is that you have a deductible for Part B. It's $240 annually. After that, you're good to go. All right, so we're rocking, guys. We are rocking. All right. We have a co-insurance of 20%. So you could owe your doctor after your deductible. Let's say you go have an open heart surgery and you have the best surgeon, and the cost of his services and the nurse team, the whole surgical team was $300,000. You're going to owe him 20% of that. I hope you have, but most people will not, Betty. So here is a summary of everything, including IRMA. Nobody likes IRMA. Okay, IRMA, income related, modified, whatever. Pretty much what it does, guys, is depending on their income, it raises the Part B premiums. Okay, so it could be as low as 174, and it can go as high as 594. Now, there are a segment of the population that doesn't pay squat for their Part B, and that's going to be the people on Medicaid. Medicaid will pay. All right, so original Medicare, Miss Betty, has many, many gaps. You should see that now, right? It's not a good thing. So let me make it even worse. Miss Betty, your Part A and Part B does not cover drugs. The drugs at your pharmacy doesn't cover them. It doesn't even cover dental, vision, hearing, the preventative services, the over-the-counter, the gym membership. None of that your friends and all the stuff you're seeing on TV, none of that is covered. Okay. You also see that there's no limit on your out-of-pocket costs. Okay. At this point, Betty should be like, man, why did I let you in the door? So I like to do this. I'm not going to do it here because last time, David, I think we got flagged for playing a song, right? So no song playing. Otherwise, I would play the song.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. No song playing. But I like to play the Don't Worry, Be Happy song by, I can't think of the guy's name, but I literally play it. I have it on my computer saved, and we play it. And it goes through the deal. Don't worry, be happy. Okay. Because you know what? I have got a solution for you. That's why I'm here. I set the stage for myself. So Miss Betty, you've got two ways to go, and they're not right or wrong. Okay. All right. It's like buying a car or a truck. Okay. Good or bad. It just depends on your scenario. So we could go down option one. Option one, Miss Betty, is you purchasing a Medicare supplement and a prescription drug plan. Option two, Miss Betty, is enrolling in the Medicare Advantage plan. All right. And they're like, oh, I don't know which way to go. Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay. This is where this presentation ends. But what I do here is I'm going to give them all the pros and cons to the MedSup. Okay. The biggest issue with the MedSup is premiums, guys. You have premiums on the MedSup. You have premiums on the PDP. The PDPs are not as rich as they are in the MAPDs. Okay. They're richer over there. And so in addition to the premiums, you don't get any extra benefits. Okay. But what's great about the option one is you don't have a network. You don't have any additional cost except the Part B deductible of $240, assuming you go with a G. If you go with a Plan N, then you have co-pays for docs in the emergency room. Excess costs are covered, or excess charges are covered under the G. They're not covered in the N. I do Gs 99% of the time, and I just find a G. Very, very easy. But for a lot of our seniors, they would love to have it, but they can't afford the premium, or they want the extra benefits. So on top of the premium for the SUP, on top of the premium for the PDP, they need dental and vision. Okay. Then there's about 40, 50 bucks for the dental, another 15, 20 bucks for the vision. It becomes price prohibitive. All right. But there's a lot of good stuff. Okay. So 240 is all they pay. 100% is covered after that. That's Medicare approved. And you have no network, no referrals. Okay. It is a great thing. And if you travel, it's awesome because you don't have a network. Now we go to the pros and cons of option two. Miss Betty, over here, there's no premiums, usually no premiums. Okay. The benefits is kind of a pay as you go. As you utilize it, you may pay for some services. Your doctors are zero, your PCPs are zero, your specialists, there may be a small copay. And if you go with an HMO, you have a closed network and you can't go outside of the network except for an emergency. You got to stick inside the network, Miss Betty, and you're going to need a referral. You're probably even going to need prior authorization for procedures, but you don't do it. Your doc does all that. Okay. I can sell you a PPO. That'd be great too, but there may not be a premium, but your out-of-pocket costs are higher. Okay. So that's it. David, I'm trying to read the message here. Is Oscar ready? Do I need to continue or proceed to Oscar?
Let me hit up a couple of questions here in the chat if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Just catch up here. Slides. Is there any way to get these slides?
We'll talk, David, because these are proprietary to me, guys, and proprietary to our agents. Let's me and you chit chat. But I do have this. Another plug. David, can I share this?
Yeah, go for it. Sure.
Okay, I'm going to unshare my screen. Now, here's what I do have. I know you guys would like this. So I have a smart book. Come on, baby. Where are you? Okay. Here we go. Copy. I'm going to put it in the chat, but I'm going to share my little screen here with you guys. Okay. So David, chat. Okay. If we can share this, guys, I'm going to share. Now, I put a lot of work into what I call the smart book. Okay. Let me just share it. Give me 1 minute. So I have a smart book. Let me go straight to the smart book. I'm sorry, David. Hold up here. I can't work with my mouse on the other side. Okay, so I have what I call a smart book, guys. And what the smart book is, it is my reference manual. So I used to carry a big binder with a whole bunch of stuff in it. And eventually I got a little smart and I created the smart book. Okay. And I'm going to share with you the topics. Okay. And here's the deal. I do sell it, guys. I have an ACA smart book and I have a Medicare smart book, and it's a one-time purchase. Okay. One time. All right. So I'm going to share the actual smart book. Okay, I'm not going to share it all. I'm not going to give it away, but this is what you get if you decide you want to get it. That little presentation that I just shared with you are pages 3 through 21, and I will update them for 2025 when I get the confirmed numbers. Okay, then from page 22 all the way to the end is agent resources. I have stuff in here for you guys. Stuff that's going to help you be more efficient out in the field. I have your delayed Part B enrollment forms in here. I have MedSup underwriting questions in case you're doing a MedSup out of their open enrollment. I got examples of the enrollment penalties. I've got our intake forms that we use. I've got the cheat sheets for the election periods. I have all this here for you. So if you would like, okay, here is you and David, I just shared the screen.
Okay, do you want me to share that link that you put down there just a few minutes ago?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where they can go get it. And this is what's on the screen. Okay.
It will lead you here, guys. And I've got some things out here, guys. I mean, I try to make a little bit of money. I'm putting a lot of time and effort to help you guys here. But you can go buy just the regular book, the Medicare book. You can buy the ACE book. You can do a combo. And then also, I do have agents that want to have a one-on-one with me, and I would love to talk to you. But guys, I got a big book. You know, my time is very valuable. So what I've went to is like, look, you can go buy a half hour of my time. You can buy 1 hour of my time, and I will tell you, well, you have me completely during that one time. So go here, and there's my 60-minute. Go and get my time, and I'd be happy to share anything you want. But the smart books are here, guys. They're $99 for one, or if you get the combo, the Medicare book and the ACA, it's $149. Okay, so there's that. But let's get some questions, David.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. Here's one. Termia, hey, Termia. PPO doctors still have to be willing to accept it, correct? At the end of the day, it is still an MAPD. I found some doctors don't want to take MAPD PPO from some carriers. Your comments?
Well, right on point. So if the doctor doesn't want to take it, ultimately what it means is they don't want to deal with the filing of the claim. So your senior's going to have to pay the doc and then submit the bill to the carrier, and the carrier's going to have to adjust the claim and reimburse the insured. It's a lot of work, but you are right. Yes, even though you have out-of-network benefits on the PPO, which means you can go to any doctor you want, that doctor may not be willing to file with that carrier to get comped. So the insured may have to pay. Very good point. Oh, also the other deal, you all know that PPOs don't require referrals to see a specialist, but a lot of specialists require a referral themselves. They don't want you, or a heart specialist doesn't want you to go see them if your primary care hasn't referred you. So it may not be an insurance requirement, but it may be a requirement of that specialist.
I'll add this in too, you know, as far as the slides go, as far as and Luis avails himself for a fee. If you guys are interested in the presentation, working more closely with Luis, we bring in agents through Luis into the agency. I don't directly recruit to Medicare anymore. I just send them to Luis. So if you guys are interested in that, probably the best thing to do would be to go to davidduford.com/contact and just send a message there saying, hey, I'm interested in Medicare, or drop a DM on Facebook or Instagram. Probably the DMs would be better actually than the contact form. And then I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay. And then any last thoughts here? We're going to take the Luis, you want to mention on the sales process, because we're about to transition. I would say to approximately an hour or so strictly on marketing, which is really, really important, getting this down. We've got Luis taking half of the hour to talk about grassroots marketing. That's going to start at the bottom of the hour. And we're about to let Oscar in here to talk about paid marketing. Anything you want to add before you let Oscar in?
No. Here's the deal, guys. When you do that presentation and you give them the options and you've done pros and cons on one, pros and cons on two, this is your time to shut up. Okay. And let the senior decide which way they want to go. Okay. And if they tell you option one, you need to have your lineup ready for MedSup and PDPs. Okay. If they tell you option two, MAPD, then you're like, awesome, great. Now, by that time, guys, you should have already had your intake filled out. You're going to grab your data. Okay, you've got their list of doctors, you've got their list of meds, you've got all that ready so that you know which way to go. Now, if you go in option one, forget the docs. Okay. Okay. You don't have networks to go check. If you're going option two, you need to verify the docs with your lineup. Check them. It is a must. It's probably 50% of the complaints that agents get from seniors is that they can't see a doc. Okay. So make sure you're cross-referencing your number one plan to the docs. Second thing, you do have to check meds with both options. PDP, go check the meds. MAPD, check the meds. And then all you do is you find what they want, and then you present that plan, and hopefully they like it and you enroll. I get one question from a lot of agents. What if they got 4 docs and they can only see 3? And you go to plan number 2 and it's worse. Plan number 3 is it worse? What do I do? So guys, I will tell you, put them in plan 1. But in your client intake sheet, talk to your senior, Miss Senior, that 4th doctor, I can't help you. I can't, they're not in the plan. Is that okay with you? Sure, that's okay, Sonny. Perfect. You know what? Will you initial here, or you just put in your notes, hey, I mentioned to Miss Betty, this doctor's not in the network, and she said it was quite okay for me to proceed, that she would find another doctor. Because guess what? A month later, she's going to forget she told you that, and you're going to have to prove something to the person who's handling that complaint. Look, I told her. She was very aware that doctor was there, and she told me it was okay.
CYA, folks.
Oh, yes. Here's my biggest saying. Seniors have no idea what they had for breakfast by lunch. So you think they're going to remember this whole presentation a month later by the time they get their ID cards and they go see a doc? No. So CYA all the time. So we have a new speaker, somebody who's going to take over, and I'm going to introduce this next handsome guy here. All right. So Oscar is from Scale My Social. So he is going to talk to you about what happens out there in internet land, out there with marketing and trying to connect with seniors on social media and all the different platforms out there. This is the guy that's going to educate you guys on marketing that's not grassroots, I guess, right? Social media marketing, Scale My Social. Oscar, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you, Luis. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Thank you, David, for having me. Grateful to be here and be able to share a little bit of time and hopefully help some agents out, for this upcoming AEP. Super excited. I have some good stuff that I think we're going to cover here and get right into it. So look, I think one of the first things that I wanted to just talk about is, what right now is working, right? In running ads, if you're going into this annual enrollment period and you're going to be running Facebook campaigns, you're going to be running ad creatives, and you want to be able to know what are the best practices for the upcoming annual enrollment period. So I'm going to give you some of the things that we're using as a company, and there's a little bit of a backdrop and for folks that obviously don't know who I am. So I run Scale My Social. It is a company that completely focuses on the insurance industry. And what we do is we help agents and large scale agencies generate leads, right? We manage ads, we generate leads. We use a lot of video advertising, and we've been doing it now for a few years. I am myself an agent. I have a book of business. I have agents under me as well. But my main focus has become for the last few years completely driven by lead generation and marketing. My company manages we're almost hitting the $1.2, $1.3 million mark at this point in ads managed across all of the insurance space. And for this annual enrollment, we're gearing up with tons of agents and prepping, getting them set up for this annual enrollment period, making sure that we're running the best ads and the best creatives possible. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about, right? Is what are the best practices for creatives? What should you be using? And I'm going to explain a little bit of it. I have 3 main things that I think are very, very important for all Medicare agents this upcoming enrollment. And then I'm actually going to show you a few creatives, some creatives that we use that are available and will be available to some of you if you end up working with us, right? So the first thing is, three things that I want to highlight to all Medicare agents and agency owners that are out there on best practices. Number one, first and foremost, as always, guys, compliance, right? With Medicare, with CMS, being compliant and making sure that the creatives that you're running, or if you're buying leads, that the creatives that those lead vendors are using are completely compliant with CMS. You don't want to get in a situation where you're running, ads that are not compliant, ads that can potentially get you in trouble and put you in a bad position, right? That's the last thing you want. You already have enough things to deal with and manage with clients and getting sales and everything else that comes along with running a Medicare business. The last thing you want to do is be caught in a position where compliance is an issue. So what we like to do is give every single creative a thought process when we go into it. And that goes into my second thing, right? Like the best practice right now is making good creatives, having creatives that speak to your audience, right? Understand who you're talking to, right? We're speaking to people over the age of 65 or people that are just turning 65. If they're just turning 65 or if they're just going into Medicare for the first time, Medicare is extremely confusing. There's a million parts to it. And older folks, it's difficult. So your message, right? That's what you're trying to deliver. When we go into creatives and we make a creative, we want to deliver the message that, hey, the pain point, right, is that this is confusing, but we're here to help. We're going to make it easy because we're industry professionals. We've helped hundreds or thousands of people in the past, and delivering that message to folks out there, right? Understanding who your consumer is and making sure that the creative is driven specifically around that message. And again, after I go through these points, we'll actually go into a few creatives so you guys see exactly what I'm talking about and some of the methods that we're using for agents to be able to get good quality leads, stay compliant, and deliver that right message. So what is a good creative, right? A good creative, whether it's an image or whether it's a video, starts with a well thought out process of, again, understanding who you're delivering that creative to. So if you're going to use images, they have to be well made, right? Making sure that you don't have too many colors on an ad, making sure that colors are kind of going, right? That they're matching, that you're not just slapping colors together. Sometimes on images and image ads, you'll find that there's way too much text on an ad creative. You want to keep it simple, guys, with the idea that folks are either on Facebook or TikTok or wherever you're reaching out to them. You're just trying to capture their attention, right, for a few seconds as they're scrolling on their feed. And you want them to stop and be able to clearly see your message, right? If it's an image, quickly, they're going to see that image and you want to deliver the key points. And so those key points are a strong hook, right? What captures that person as soon as they're scrolling through that feed? What's the first line that they're going to see at the top of that image? Very important, right? And that could be, are you going into Medicare this year? Listen up. There's a bunch of different variations there, but the key is you want to capture and you want to speak directly to that person that's either going into Medicare or was in Medicare, and you want to help try to get set up for the following year. Following that, guys, is maybe one pain point, right? A pain point or a benefit about the service or product that you have, right? And again, you don't want to put too much text. I often will see ads out there that have so many things that when I look at it, I don't see one, right? There's just too many things on there. And a key part to this is certainly if you're going to run ads, is a part of it is testing, right? To find what's going to work, especially if you're newer to running a campaign. Testing is one of your best friends, right? Understanding the good principle to make a good creative and then making a couple of those creatives, right? Long gone are the days where just one ad creative is sufficient to run on a campaign. I always recommend that you have at least two or three with obviously it depends on the budget, but at least 2 or 3 creatives you want to have, all following a good process. So we're going to hit them with the hook. We're going to hit them with a pain point, some benefits of Medicare, and then a simple call to action. Now, what does the image need to look like? Well, the image can be a picture of an elderly couple smiling, right? The picture can be just a person reviewing bills or on a computer. So there's different variations that you can take. Some images don't require an actual person or people in them. They could just be colors. They could be a background that really contrasts and works well with the text. So these are the key things to keep in mind if you're going to run an image ad. If you're going to run a video ad, which is what I'm going to show you here in a few minutes, it has to follow a good structure. You have to tell a story and bring them through a process in those quick, ideally 30 seconds to 40 seconds. You really don't want to run video ads that are longer than that, because our attention span is pretty low these days, right? So our focus and our attention and our detail has to come quickly, and we need to deliver that story within those 30 or 40 seconds. And on a video, guys, you're going to focus on a few things. And these are things that we do on every single ad that we create, whether it's Medicare, whether it's private health, whether it's life insurance. It doesn't matter what it is. We follow these same principles throughout every single video. And they include, first and foremost, your hook, right? How, again, are you going to capture that person that's scrolling through the social media feed and get them to stop and watch your video, right? And that's what's powerful about video versus images, that folks are actually, you're able to speak to them, right? You're able to deliver a real message to them versus just an image. And in doing so, you often will find better quality leads are generated from video ads, okay? So hook, number one. Then number two, on a video ad, we really focus on pain points, right? We want to talk about what are the pain points, right? The things, the problems that somebody that's in Medicare faces by not having the right Medicare plan or by not understanding Medicare. So pain points, right? We're going to try to drum up about 2 or 3 of those. And if you're in Medicare and you've been doing it, then you know the questions that you get, right? The questions that you get every year from customers that say, well, last year my plan didn't cover this, right? Not enough coverage is a pain point, right? Higher out of pockets. All these things are pain points that people are nervous about. And if they have never been in Medicare and they're going into it, it's the same thing, right? They're nervous about picking the wrong plan that perhaps has them paying too much money out of pocket, or doesn't cover their doctors that they've been going to for many years, right? So those are pain points. And those are things that we want to put out in the very beginning so that we capture that person and we connect, right? We relate to the issues that they have within Medicare. Then we follow it with solutions, right? So now here's the pain point. They feel it. Gosh, yes, that's me. I want to make sure I can go to the same doctors. I want to make sure that my out-of-pockets are not out of control. I want to make sure my medications are covered, right? Great. And then here are the solutions. And then you provide a few solutions. The solutions are, right? We're experts in the Medicare field. We have access to all the carriers in your area. We've worked with hundreds of people to help them find the right coverages. We understand all the coverages, medications, types of benefits, and we're here to help, right? Solutions. After those solutions, it's just a call to action, right? What do you want that person to do once they've gone through that short little presentation? What action do you want them to do? You want them to click, answer a few questions, click register for something, click download something. There's really different types of campaigns and call to actions that you can have. I'm going to show you today 2 different ones. One of them is going to be an ad that's driven to this year's annual enrollment period. And at the end, we want that person to just click on the link and answer the questions, fill out the lead form. Then I'll show you another ad another type of creative that we're running this year that is attached to a webinar, right? Where we're trying to get folks to come into a free educational event about Medicare. And so our click to action is register for the webinar, right? So those are the important pieces of a video ad: hook, pain points, solutions, call to action. If you guys can focus your efforts when you're making or thinking about a creative, then and into those things, then you're going to develop good creatives. Now, do you make these things on your own, or do you have them made, or how do you do it, right? So some of you have a little bit of graphic design talent, and now with tools like Canva, right? Tools like CapCut, so many different tools out there, story blocks. Those are just some of the different applications and tools that are out there that are pretty simple to use, and you can create videos and images within them. You don't want to do that and you just want to have it made, you can go to sites like Upwork, right? And find people that make these creatives, graphic designers, and you pay them to do that. The important part, guys, is if you're going to hire someone to do it for you on a site like Upwork, is that you understand the message, right? And you understand how to direct that person to make the creative, because that person is good at designing. They're not good at Medicare. They don't understand who your customer is. So you must provide them with direction in order to make that. Or you purchase and invest into a program or a product that delivers these things for you already, and they're ready to go, set up, kind of like what we do, right? So those are the key differences and best practices. Third, because I did say I have a third one, right? Third one is keeping it simple and short, right? And I said that with the images, which is very important. Don't overcrowd your images with a ton of things. Don't make your videos too long. Keep your videos under 40-45 seconds. The shorter you can do it, the better. And keep your images clean. So those are the three things, guys. Now I'm going to get right into it, and I want to share these creatives with you so that you guys can see. Let me just see and make sure that I have screen shareability, which I think I do. Let me take a look. Perfect. Okay. All right. So let me add this here. And as I said, there are two creatives, guys, that we're going to look at here today. And both of them are video ads. Okay. Let me set this second one up, and then we'll show them. Okay. Okay. So this first one is going to show you a style of video that is more of a review, right? Somebody who's in Medicare, somebody who has used it, somebody who's had those pain points and those concerns, right? So let me go ahead and show this first one. Okay. All right. So can everybody see that? Can I get a thumbs up, or David, someone tell me we're good?
I can see it. I can see it.
All right. Perfect. All right, guys. So I'm going to hit play, and and you can see, right? It's 42 seconds. It's right there, guys. It's right at the edge, because Medicare, there's just a lot of things to talk about, right? As everybody knows. So let's take a look at this.
Last year, I didn't pay attention to my Medicare plan, and it completely changed. My doctors were not covered on the new updates, and I had to pay out of pocket. It was a nightmare. Annual enrollment is the perfect time to review your plan and make changes if needed. With so many new plans being offered, it's important you review your current coverages. I've been using these guys for over 4 years now, and they are the best. They've helped thousands of people and provide the best service. I left the information for you below. Just click learn more and connect with them.
Okay. So real quick, couple things on there to review, right? Number one, we went right into a hook, right? Then we talked about the pain points that she's had, how she had out of pocket. So she's connecting to the audience, right? She's basically saying, hey, this happened to me last year. And if it's happened to you, or you don't want it to happen to you for the first time, then keep listening, right? We're connecting to them. And then we follow with solutions, right? 3 or 4 solutions. These guys have helped me for 4 years, right? Builds credibility. These guys have helped thousands of people. And it's very, if you notice, it's just the conversation. She's just talking. Now we added what's called B-roll. We added some captions to it because it is important to keep people engaged, right? And so how you keep people engaged in a video is by changing a scene every 3 to 5 seconds, adding B-roll. That's what keeps people like watching, right? Just the same as you and I, when we're on our feed and we're going through and we're seeing things, we'll stop and watch something because it keeps us engaged, right? So that's the idea. All right, next one. This one is a webinar, right? This is a webinar campaign that we're going to be running, and that we're running for many, many agents this open enrollment, this annual enrollment. So let me share that one real quick.
Why? Yeah. While you're sharing that, man, that was a sick ad, man. Like, good sick.
That was good.
Really good.
Good.
Guys.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. You know, we're having this ad actually because this is part of our Medicare marketing pack where agents have access to these creatives. These are actual creatives, guys, that are being ran. And we had an agent that generated, I want to say, leads at $10.89, somewhere just under 11, that started running them. And it's just been consistent. Yeah, the campaign's just been going, and super happy with the results. So I think these are good ads. We put a lot of thought into this. So here's another one. Check this one out, guys. All right, can everybody see this one?
Yep.
Okay.
If you're 65 or older, annual enrollment is here and everything has changed. If you don't choose the right plan, you could face higher out-of-pockets and less benefits for 2025. That's why we created a completely free educational event that covers everything you need to know about 2025 plans. Answer all your questions about the new changes made in the last few weeks and assure you get the right plan. Join us in this completely free online educational event made just for you. Click below and register for this event now.
Okay. Right.
Nice.
So again, no B-roll, right? Because we test. We want to try different things out here. So no B-roll in that one, just the person speaking to them. And I'll put a question out there. What did you guys think about that individual, David? Just with your first thought when you see that person, what was your thought on it?
Jacked and Tan Senior, man.
Okay, there you go. Jacked and Tan Senior. Okay, so watch this, right? Here's something interesting, guys. That is an AI creative.
Dude,
right?
that's not real.
That's an AI creative.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Totally stumped me, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, I thought that was real. I was like, that
yeah.
dude, like that's probably some guy in his early 50s, balding a little bit. Looks like he's, try to appeal to the ladies maybe that are old. That's not even real. Wow, man.
It's not, guys. It's an AI created ad, completely AI created, with tools that we're using. And so this is where the business is, guys, right? This is 2024 going into 2025, guys. If we're not using these tools that not just I'm talking about, but that I know Alex talked about earlier, that I know Luis has talked about in workflows, like technology is moving at a very, very fast pace. We have to be using all of the resources and tools that are out there, because if you're not, another agent is. And Alex talks about this. He put it so great. Like, AI is not going to get rid of agents. AI and agents who use AI are going to get rid of agents who are not using AI and using technology, right? Like, these are such important things to keep in mind, right? So those are the two types of creatives. That gives you a really good understanding on what you should be following, the good concepts for this annual enrollment period. The second thing that I had on my list to really mention to you guys that I think is really important, and what some of the things that we're doing, right, is how can agents speak to their leads without waiting the 48 hours, right? Without having the scope of appointment and filling it out and all these things. And look, there's going to be cases where you can't get around that, but we've been able to start using technology and putting together a well thought out process that can help agents eliminate some of the times that they maybe can talk to people faster, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that. So part of the marketing pack that we do, one of the things that we've introduced is a webinar, right? Which you just saw the first step of that webinar, the first flow of that campaign, which is an ad that gets delivered to somebody who's 65 or turning 65 about annual enrollment. Now that person goes and clicks and registers for this completely free event. Now they go in and they watch the event. It's 20, 30 minutes long. It answers just enough questions about annual enrollment. It's an educational event, which helps people drop their guard, doesn't feel so salesy. You're giving value, right? You're providing them with really important information that's going to help them make a better decision about their health coverages. So they go through that entire process. Now, what happens at the end, right? Now, the 20, 30 minutes went by. Now, some people might not stay through the entire thing, but a good amount of those people who really want to learn this information and want to make sure they choose the right plan, they're going to stick to the end of this thing. At the end, two things are going to happen. They're going to click on speak to an agent, right? Book a call to speak to one of our agents, which is essentially the call to action at the end. And when they do that, we take them into a landing page, a single landing page that's going to do two things for us. One, it's going to help and motivate that person to pre-book an appointment to speak to you, right? Now, here's where the SOA comes in. Now, you have to wait 48 hours to speak to that person anyway. So what we do is when the person chooses the time and date, we only let them choose a date that's 48 hours past, right? So they can't speak to you that same day. They're going to book a call for 48 hours out. And right after booking that call, they're going to fill in the information for the scope of appointment. So at that very moment, when the person books their appointment, they're completing their scope of appointment. And now when they go to show up for that call 48 hours later, scope of appointment is signed, 48 hours have passed. It's now time for you to get right into the sale and the presentation of that policy to that prospect. In addition to that, guys, when the person is booking the call, we put a sign, a big headliner at the top that says, do you want to speak to somebody right now? Do you want to contact somebody right now? Do you have questions to get answered right now? Call us, click here and connect with us. And as you guys know or might not, if they call you, there is no scope of appointment required, guys, right? So we're going to try to get them right then and there. If that person is excited, they watch the webinar and they're like, wow, I want to talk to somebody right now. Perfect. Call right now, connects into the agent's line, and they're on the phone trying to sell that deal. And if not, we're trying to pre-book the appointment, meet compliance, because in the beginning I said that, right? Compliance, number one, meet the compliance requirement, get the 48 hours to pass, but book an appointment. So now you have commitment from somebody, and now you're just booking appointments. And that's what this campaign is doing for agents, guys. People automatically go on this webinar, watch it, book appointments, and then the agents show up to those appointments, right? So that's how we're doing that. Number three, here's a third thing that I'm going to talk about today, which is what's a good lead flow process, which really is kind of what we just described, right? What's a good lead flow process for agents to follow and get the most out of their leads this open enrollment? Well, we just went through the ad creative process, or a type of creative process that would help you generate leads and generate higher intent leads, right? Because the folks that sit through that webinar, again, not everybody's going to sit through all of it, but the people that sit through the entire thing, you think about that. That person has now saw your video ad, clicked on it, then went into your webinar, watched it for 20 minutes, then they go through, book an appointment. And if that person is on that call with you on the scheduled time and date, guys, you're not going to ever be able to generate a higher or better quality lead than taking that person through that entire process, right? I would think people agree with that. If you agree with that, give us a like, give us something so I can see that. But that's the idea, right? We want to build all intent. I want people that maybe just are curious about this, and I also want people that man, I'm ready to do business with you, right? I want everybody, because as an agent and as a salesperson, I want to call them or get on the phone and try to convert those deals. So that's the initial lead flow process. Now, what happens after, right? What happens after that person fills this out and now that lead goes into your CRM? Well, the flow continues. And I know you guys went over this with Luis and probably even Alex, right? Talking about workflows, the automations, AI, all the things that you must be using in this upcoming AEP to maximize your efforts and the work and money that you're investing into this annual enrollment period, guys. So the flow continues. That lead comes into the CRM. It's got to be hit with a text message within a few seconds. It's got to notify you within a few seconds that a new lead comes in, so that if you're busy and you're doing something, you know, hey, new lead came in. As soon as I'm done here, I got to get on that, because it's always speed to lead, right? Every time that lead comes in, we want to get to it because there's competition out there, especially in annual enrollment, right? Everybody's competing through this little small period to try to get as many enrollments as they can. Time is of the essence. Technology gives you time and helps you maximize things. So engaging those leads right away with sequences of workflows. Luis, I'm pretty sure he went through some of these workflows and explained to you. In our Medicare marketing pack, we deliver all of that. We have all these things in it. The workflows and follow-up appointment reminders are very important, right? If you're going to book a call for someone, you want to make sure that person's getting appointment reminders, right? If they missed an appointment, you want to make sure that there's a missed appointment text going out to that person. Hey, what happened? I missed you. It's okay. I know how it is. Let's go ahead and rebook you again on the calendar. Here's the available times, right? You want to re-engage those people. And then what happens after you close the deal? Or more importantly, what happens, once that part is all done, you have to make sure that you are, dispositioned properly. And if it's a sale, you want to follow up. You want to apply retention workflows, right? You want to make sure that you're staying in contact with that client or customer, because that's going to build opportunities to maximize the value of each customer, right? If you can cross-sell, which I know Luis is a huge proponent and has built a massive agency on cross-selling, right? Because these individuals, they need other services, guys. They need other things. They need your help for other stuff. And so if you can apply a good retention system to your leads and to your clients, you're going to be able to cross-sell them and maximize, again, every dollar that you spend and every minute that you spend working on your business.
Oscar,
I think that's all I have. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Great presentation. And thank you for sharing creatives and kind of showing what's possible. I think it's a game changer if you get the creatives right. You know how to administer the creatives to get leads that are not just well priced, but also convert at a great CPA, cost per acquisition. So where can agents go if they like what you're talking about? They want to leverage your knowledge and what you have to offer. What's the link? Where do they go? Tell us a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah. So guys, the Medicare marketing pack is available to everybody, and they can go to David, and I'll post it in the comments here, but so that we know that it came from here and you guys get the special treatment. It goes through david.marketingpack.com, I believe is the link. Let me just confirm.
Yeah, pull
that.
it up
I'm
here.
pretty sure that's what it is.
I'll wait to post it. Everybody just sit tight.
Yep. Just take one second. Let's just make sure.
While he's doing that, Luis, come back on camera if you don't mind. All right. And we're about to transition here to discussion on more grassroots style marketing once we wrap this up with Oscar.
I'm here. I'm trying to get my camera on.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, baby. Fire up, baby.
Good deal.
There you go.
Yes, and I've actually been totally AI for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't really work much anymore. My real version of myself doesn't work. It's like I only do the road shows occasionally, but everything else is just automated, especially the video. I mean,
absolutely.
Why would you do videos when your AI just run the videos through and it knows who you are and how to talk, and y'all can't tell the difference, but I don't have to work as much. That's kind of how I look at it.
All right. Oh, sorry. I'm pulling up this. I thought that is not correct. So my apologies on there, but let me
Yep,
see.
no problem. Why don't we do this, Oscar? While you're wrapping that up, I'm going to go ahead and just move on here. Just throw that into the chat when you're done, and then
Yep.
Luis, get your camera up, and then we're gonna.
I'm trying. I am trying, man. Always some technical stuff. Beauty of the business, man. I can see my screen on my camera, but I cannot see. Why is it not popping up on here? Oh.
Guys, I just shared it, so you have it now. It's david.marketingpack.online. That's the link. You can go there, and if you want to watch, I'm gonna also drop another link in here. If you want to get the full details of the marketing pack and what it includes, I'll also include here a link to the webinar, right? The webinar which explains even in more detail. So I'll put those two links on there for you guys, and all good. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Luis.
Yeah, Oscar, thank you
good
very
luck,
much. Great
everybody out there.
presentation.
Thank you
very
guys.
much. We're just going to wait on Luis to figure out how to get his camera on. If you click the up button by the video, and then it says select a camera, you can kind of cycle.
It's selected. Come on, baby. This thing. Sometimes I may have to go get my just the webcam, the simple one. I'll get it going here. I'm gonna try one more time. It was up earlier when I got in there earlier. When you want it to work, it works. When you don't,
you may also want to, if you may want to try to get on this on your phone, and then you can just mute your end, and then
let me go get.
All right, you just muted yourself.
Yeah, give me 2 minutes, David. I'll go get my little camera.
Sure, no problem. Anybody got any questions for Oscar? Anybody have any questions about marketing, paying for marketing, etc.? This is a good time to ask. So we'll wait on give Luis some time to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Just going back a few to see if anybody else had any other questions here. Oh, by the way, a lot of again, Luis is AI too, and this whole camera thing is just an excuse. The program has been corrupted. He's not really. I mean, who knows? What? I mean, that's the crazy thing, isn't it? I mean, like, you just don't know what's real anymore. Yeah. So what was it here? I had a question and I forgot. Okay, so you do that's what I was gonna say. If you guys are looking for a home for Medicare, I don't recruit Medicare agents directly anymore. I made a strategic decision about 2 years ago to refocus on final expense exclusively. But I still like doing these trainings from time to time because I know a lot of my audience does Medicare or thinking about it. We just don't recruit, but Luis does. So again, if you're interested in picking up contracts, just go to davidduford.com/contact. Send me a message that way, or you can go to my Instagram or Facebook. Just put in David Duford. You'll find me that way, and just message me, and then I'll show you what to do or tell you what steps to take as far as getting contracted goes. So yeah.
And here's something that I'll just mention, guys, too. Oh, you're back. Okay, you're good. You're good. If anybody wants more information. Okay. No, I was just going to say, look, I'm always posting content about just lead gen in the insurance business, guys. So if you want to follow, scale my social, you can find me. I always try to educate and give as much information to help agents. So I'm always available. If I can help in any way, feel free to reach out on any social media. Okay. All right, guys. I'll let you guys take it over.
Thanks, Oscar. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for your time, man. Again, that link is david.marketingpack.online.
Let's see.
And Luis, your camera is off. And you're back. Yay, there it is. Excellent. All right.
Man. Oh, come on. There we go. Now we're good.
Cool.
I'm using
all right.
the webcam, so hopefully everything's still good and we're rocking. Okay. So Oscar was talking about my workflows that are coming with a Medicare marketing pack. Guys, yeah. These are just one of the things that you have to have. Let me close my door. Hold on. Just want a little camera. Good thing for backup cameras. All right. I am going to share with you the workflows that Oscar was mentioning that you guys that come with the marketing pack, right? So yeah, they're loading up here as we speak. And give me 1 minute. I am going to share that screen with you. All right. So here is what you get, guys. So I'm really super proud of my workflows. So think of a workflow as a job. It is a job, a series of things that are gonna happen when a trigger is pulled. Okay, so just think about it that way. So I've created all these jobs. So some of these are jobs that help retain your book of business. Some of them help you bring in new leads. So let's talk about the money maker. Okay, because everybody wants to make money. So let's say you go get the CRM. Okay, and you start inputting your leads, your clients. I mean, I got everybody in my CRM, clients and leads, you name it. It doesn't matter if it's P&C, which is auto and home, life, your final expense book, you put them in here, okay? There are 4 minimum pieces of data that you want to put: their name, their email, their phone number, and date of birth, okay? And then you can do the very same thing. You can put the spouse and the spouse's date of birth. So you would enter those things into your CRM. Then what you would do, guys, is you have it in there. The one tool that I have that is a money maker, and I do between 8 to 10 of these a month, and I love them. So I get leads from my book of business, from my contacts that are turning 64 and a half. So we build out a workflow that mines your data. And then when somebody's turning 64 and a half, it lets you know, but it starts doing a series of text messages to the insured and emails. Hey, happy birthday. No, I know, I'm sorry. It's 6 months early, but hey, you're going to be getting into Medicare in 6 months. So I want to let you know that I'm your guy. Don't go to any other guy, any other girl. I'm your contact. I've been doing Medicare for 20 plus years. I'm going to guide you. And in the next month or so, you'll be getting follow-up emails and text messages that are going to prepare you for you to go visit Social Security and go get your Medicare. Okay. I also call them. Okay. So, because you know the kind of money, I already shared the money with you. These are the easiest people to work with. So I share that with you. You're rocking and rolling. Everything is great. And so, and this is what was awesome. I was in Moab taking some pictures. I was in a photography workshop and we were in the middle of the day. I was relaxing and I get calls. I'm like, oh, what is it now? I answer it. I'm like, hey, Luis, this is so-and-so. I'm like, hey, what's going on, Mr. Client? Hey, I followed all your instructions. I just got my Medicare card. What do I do now? And I was like, oh, first of all, it's an inbound call. I'm like, I'm so glad. Boom, started recording. I went through my deal and I wrote them an MAPD right there on the spot. A day later, I get another one. This is when I was on vacation. I made $1,200 commissions. All right. I did HRAs on them. I made another 75, another 150. And then I also did hospital indemnity plans for them. Boom. I mean, while I was sitting there on vacation, I made enough money to pay for my vacation just from automations that I have in place. So this is a very, very good automation for you guys. Second automation that I have for y'all is I have these carrier enrollment tools or folder. And what happens here is when you enroll somebody in a plan, we have it set up where you do a drop down. In fact, let me prepare this. And I don't want to show any PII. We'll get flagged, and we don't want to get flagged on this great training session that I have for you guys. So I am going to pull myself up. Here we go. All right. So this is, let's go back to the share. All right. So fake information here. Okay. But this is what I want to demo here. You see this button? A lot of you agent CRM users don't have it yet. You will be getting it. We are knocking out the floss. Okay, but this is the way to work. You go on here and you'll click on policy updates and you'll click on policy sold. Okay, you go on here and you put the name of the agent. Remember, I have 9 people. So if it's just you, well, it'll be your name. Policy sold. You will pick what you sold. Let's say it's MAPD. You pick the carrier. Okay, did you sell them dental and vision? Well, if it's MAPD, you did not. Did you sell them hospital indemnity? No. Any notes? By clicking on these buttons, guys, what is going to happen is a workflow is going to start. It will send them if you chose Aetna, it will let them know, hey, you enrolled with Aetna. You're going to be receiving some emails or some mail from Aetna. You'll get your ID cards. And what it's going to do is for the next 12, or no, not 12 months, 9 months, it's going to send them a monthly email and text message informing them about Aetna's plans. Hey, Betty, this is, maybe we're in February now. Hey, have you taken advantage of dental? You know that your plan has a dental option. It's great dental benefits. Hey, you need to take advantage of it. Call me if you have any questions, but you need to go see a dentist and go get your chompers fixed or worked on, or go get your dentures, whatever. Okay, I don't put any specific amounts because then I'd have to update that every year. And then it's specific to a plan. I could be all over the board with that. And then on March, I'll send them vision. In April, I'll send them hearing. In May, I'll send them about the OTC to take advantage of that. And how about the gym membership? I am letting them know all year long about their benefits. And then what happens in September, look at what happens in September, guys. In September, I have an AEP reminder that starts. It starts September the 1st, and it lets them know that they're going to get their ANOC and to call me. Okay, I also have a message in here that says, hey, do me a favor, take a picture of this and send it to me. All right, that way I know what you've got, and that way I can prepare. And then it goes into the text messaging in October. Hey, AEP is going to start. Call me to book your appointment. And you better not go anywhere. You better not. I mean, I'm like, you better not go to another agent or else. And I keep hitting them until the very end, which is November 31st. And I tell them, hey, you got 1 week left. Okay. And okay, so I have that workflow. I have another one here for agents who have a final expense book and you want to cross-sell Medicare. Okay. So it hits them up with final expense stuff, but it lets them know AEP is coming around the corner. Hey, I'm not your Medicare agent, but I would love to be. I'd be glad to do a review. All right. Now, also part of this, when this starts, and this goes for 1 month, okay, then it automatically will send them to this post-enrollment where it sends them those dental, vision, hearing, all the benefit stuff. But what if you don't do Medicare? Well, I put them into a Med Sup where it hits them up about their Med Sup, and it also reminds them about the PDP AEP. All right, so very cool. I have all that built in. You get that with the Medicare marketing pack. All right, so that's what I have there. David, I think what we should do on this one is we should proceed with grassroots marketing.
Yes, please. Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do some grassroots stuff. That's what I do. Okay. I mean, I do social media, but I love grassroots. So if you're wondering what grassroots stuff, it is stuff that you don't have to pay for. Okay. It is like farming, guys. You have to plant seeds. And you know that when you plant a seed, you don't have whatever you plant at the very next day. It takes a long time for that to grow. So here are a couple of things that I would do. Number one is you want to start marketing to doctors, clinics. Get out there and do this. So here's something very ingenious that I became aware of, and I was doing it. I didn't even know it was a good idea. But let's say that you are enrolling Miss Betty and you're putting her into the United plan. And you check the docs and you know that Dr. John Smith is in the network and you've already assigned that doctor as the PCP. I would do a courtesy call to Dr. John Smith. Hey, Dr. John. And you're not talking to the doc. He has no freaking clue, guys. Don't talk to the docs. Talk to the billing person. Lady who handles the insurance at that doctor's office. Hey, I just enrolled Betty, my client, your patient. And I selected the doctor there, your office, as the primary care doctor. I just want to confirm. Now, I do this for all my clients, Miss Insurance, that the office lady. I just want to confirm, hey, I'm enrolling her in this this specific plan. I just want to make sure we're good. She is, the The plan is showing that the doctor's in the network, and you're again, it doesn't matter. Okay. It matters if they say, nope, we don't take that plan anymore. Like, oh, wow. I think you need to go let United know you're not in the network anymore. Okay. But if they just say, oh, okay, fine. But here's the objective of this. Remember, we're marketing to doctors' offices. Ma'am, whatever, we'll call her Mary. Hey, Mary. The service that I just did here for my client, I do this for all my clients. What do you do with your clients that have a plan that you guys don't take? And by the way, I would love a list of what you take, what carriers. What do you do with the ones that are turning 65 and now they're going into Medicare and they don't know where to go? How about the ones that have a plan that you guys don't take, therefore you end up losing a patient? What do you do with those guys? Or the ones that are 65, they have A and B and they have no insurance. What do you do with them? And she's like, I would know. I'm like, you know what? I have a solution for you. Can I be your insurance guy? Can I be the guy that you refer them to? And here's what I'm going to promise to you. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get them taken care of. I'm going to enroll them in these plans that you guys accept. And that way you can keep your patient. And that we get a happy patient, client all the way around. What do you think, Miss Betty or Mary? Mary says, cool, let's do it. Then what I would do is I would put Mary into my contact list and I'd hit her up every month. Mary, just a reminder, remember, I'm your Medicare insurance guy. You know, anybody that has wrong insurance or no insurance or turning 65, don't forget I'm here. Here's all my contact information. And then what I would do, this is pretty cool. I would call Mary. Hey, Mary, how about a date? What do you think, Mary? Can we do a lunch and learn? Can I come by your office? I would be glad to bring you guys, you know, some Chick-fil-A platter, some salads, tacos, whatever it may be. Can I come by and just do a lunch and learn, introduce yourself? But I'm going to walk away from my camera because I'm going to show you what I take. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Haven't disappeared. I take them this rack card. Okay, this is, and I want to take them this because I want this to place this right there in their lobby. I may take a couple of them, you know, right there where they sign in, the check-in counter, maybe put them around the little chairs. And I like to take these and learn. This is $5 for the little plastic container. These are rack cards, are thick stock, so they're little, they're not thin. And of course, your business cards. Okay, David, what do you think about that, man?
Sounds good.
David. Man, that's get out there, market to doctors. Okay, here's another one. How about some grassroots marketing to financial planners, retirement specialists, registered investment advisors, that community, the financial pros. Okay, here's how I would market to them. And this, again, some of these things just happen to me. I get a referral to go see these guys, this financial group. And I'm like, man, these guys want to manage my money. I'm going to go listen to them. I'm happy where I'm at. And so I went to go listen to them and I sit down and I've got the owner and I got the investment guy there. And I'm like, all right, I got my arms crossed. All right, guys, pitch me. Let's see. And they don't pitch me. What they do is like, Luis, we have a problem. We think you may be able to solve this problem for our clients. I'm like, ooh, let's talk. He goes, if we do our job right, we got people retiring and they may retire early or they may retire after they're 65. But the problem is they need insurance. We're not insurance guys. We're financial pros. Can you help us out? I'm like, oh, eventually, I mean, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Give me a minute. I went to my car. I went to go get my smart book. I'm like, look, let me tell you what I do. This is the presentations I think we can do with your clients. If they're under 65, I can do ACA. If they're over 65, I can do Medicare. And how about this? We host a once-a-month seminar here in your office, your little lobby, bring in 5 clients or whatever, and let's do our thing. I'm like, hey, now I know how to market to financial pros. All right. Next thing, next grassroots thing is you need to go market to P&C guys like me. But of course, you won't get in my door because I'm a Medicare agent. But most P&C guys hate health insurance. So if you're an ACA agent and or Medicare agent, go in them and talk to your P&C guys. Start with your local, start with your agent, and then maybe branch off to other agents and say, hey, do you guys do Medicare? Do you guys do ACA? Hey, I'd love to be your point of contact. Hey, you know, whatever, and market to those P&C guys. The other deal, check this out. This is a little, maybe dirty, David. Ooh, people are going to like this. You ready for some dirty, David?
Let's do it.
How about this? I tell other agents in the business that Medicare sucks. Don't want to do it. The commissions are horrible. Okay. The certifications take 3 months. You don't want to do it. But you know what? I already do it. So, you know what? Why don't you send me your referrals and I'll give you $50 or $100. What do you think? Okay. Yeah. And so I get a lot of referrals from my colleagues that don't want to do this. Think about that. All right. Grassroots. That's getting out there. It's not costing you anything. All right. The fourth, I think we're at the fifth thing. Okay. A lot of the carriers right now are hosting rollout meetings. Okay. Which means you can go to the rollout meetings and talk to your reps there. Now, I got, as Oscar was talking, I was checking my emails, and I got an email that says, hey, we've got stores, we've got pharmacies, we got retail locations without agents. Would you like to go? And I'm like, hell no, I would not. But for a new agent, I used to do retail all the time. I had a little booth. In fact, I'm going to share my little booth picture. Hold on here. I'm going to find this thing. But I had a little retail booth. Come on, where are you, baby? Okay, I'm going to pull this up just so you guys can see what I'm talking about when we get into retail. Come on. Let's see here, pictures. Ooh. I'm going to share this one. All right, look at this one, David. This is pretty cool. So another thing that I used to do, now when I say used to, I say used to because I have now gotten happy and I'm not as hungry as I used to be. Well, when I was hungry, I was out there. Look at this one. Aha. Let's see if we can get our viewers. Where am I? Where am I? Let's see if anybody can figure out more or less where I'm at. Not specifically, but what type of location am I? What do you think? Where do you think I'm at, David?
Oh, I know where you're at.
Flea market, baby. All right. I'm out of the flea market. Now, I went out there for ACA, but I wrote Medicare. Okay, because I get some teachers, can you help me Medicare? I'm like, yeah, I'll help you out. I'd be like, I would tell them, oh, I don't want to, but I was excited. So I would flea markets, you can get out there. Now, if you're going to do a Medicare, a true Medicare event, you have to talk to your carrier and you have to file it. I didn't file these because I did ACA. Anyway, that's just that one. I'm going to share the retail store with you guys that I had. Just going through, find this thing. Oh, let's make sure it doesn't take me too long. Maybe it's over here. Oh, here we go. Yep, here we go. All right, this is my retail booth, guys. Now, I got so busy at this retail booth, I'm taking the picture, okay, just so you know. I'm taking the picture, and I have two of my agents here, two of my employees, because I would literally get, I mean, I would just get people, just sometimes, this lady right here to the left, the opposite of the door, she had a little jewelry shop, and she'd get pissed at me. She's like, Luis, because I would get people lined up here with their baskets from this grocery store. So I had nowhere else to put them. They would go to line up there, or they would go outside. I mean, and so I had to get people to help me out. But that's my retail booth. And literally, this is, you know, I don't do this anymore, but this is super, super cool. And we would sell at these retail locations. But you could definitely do a retail location. So those are my grassroots stuff, guys. That you're not going to get leads right away. And I will tell you this, that if you are an aggressive agent, you will go nuts at these retail locations. They're super, super slow. Okay. Don't think that you're going to make a ton of stuff out, a ton of business on it.
What about working your existing leads or existing clients, specifically clients?
Oh, well, there's a workflow that I shared that if
Yeah.
you put your clients into the CRM, you can definitely hit them up. I had put on there, the one that I shared, David, was, let me grab it again, was
Sure.
this one, but it can be any kind of book. Okay. Just trying to share the right screen here. Here we go. So this one, final expense book of business without Medicare, without MAPD. And literally
Right.
it's a workflow, and I'll share the wording to you. Okay. So it's a workflow that goes out to them that says, hey, David, I hope this text finds you well. As your trusted life insurance agent, I want to remind you of the upcoming AEP, which is the time of the year to make changes, blah, blah, blah. So I give them some information and I tell them, hey, I can help you out. Okay. They're not my clients, but it's literally just a cross sell to your book. So it can be a life book. It can be your ACA. I already have a workflow for that one. It lets me know when they turn 64, but you could use this very same workflow. Okay. And it is triggered by this tag that you sold them FE. That's the trigger that fires this off. But literally, you can go into a contact and just implement this. But if it is just a lead, well, you don't want it to say, I'm your life insurance agent. Just change the wording. A little bit of work, but most definitely, David, I agree with you. You want to work your book. They already trust you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was my point, is like, don't look past people who've already handed over their money, social and banking information to you, right? They're liable to do it again. Any questions here in the chat? Let me hit on a few things here. Luis, let me go through this. What does your rat card say? You were waving them.
Oh, now I don't have my Medicare ones with me here, but these are my health insurance rat cards. So right there. Hell have questions. It's really all focused on ACA. And this is one of my guys. But again, I'm not out there. My guys are out there now.
So how did you get in with is it Heb down there in San Antonio?
Yes.
What was this? So Nicole is asking, like, how do you get in with the big retailers? I know some FMOs have retailer specific products that or opportunities, but I know that there are some that you can just ask, like more local ones, to get in. How did you do that for Heb?
So very easy, guys. Number one is I did it because I went to the carrier rollouts and they asked me. So sometimes your FMO, that is your upline, they will have so many locations already assigned to them, and then they try to fill them with agents within that FMO. So talk to your FMO. And then the other way to do it is when you go to these carrier rollouts or you pay attention to your emails, they will tell you, hey, we got openings. Anybody want these? Here's a list of stores that are open, that are unmanned at this point. And if you want it, just let us know and they can assign you. So the big key is talk to your upline and talk to your local carrier rep.
Right. Cool.
Now, bit of advice here. My first time I did that, took my own advice, and they gave me a store. Okay. Let's see if anybody can find something wrong with this store. They gave me a Whole Foods. And in an area of San Antonio that I cannot afford to buy a home in. $1 million, multi-million. I was like, yes, I can't believe I got this spot. Guess what? I didn't sell one damn thing. One thing. The whole time I was there. Horrible. Those people don't go to Whole Foods to go buy insurance. Okay. So the one for sure thing is you don't want a high-end store. You want to go to the hood, guys. Okay. That's where if you're going to do retail, you don't set up a booth at Nordstrom's or Saks Fifth Avenue. Okay. Not a good thing. You want to set it up at the Dollar Generals, your Family Dollar, your low income areas, because those people just don't have the resources or maybe the know-how or who knows what, but it gives you an opportunity to help those people out.
So well, your market is the market that appreciates this kind of stuff at this point, you know. And then you also, didn't you do one out kind of in the sticks too that was really well, that worked really well?
The what again, David?
You said didn't you do one outside of San Antonio city limits once that did well too?
Oh,
you drove like an hour away or something. I remember you telling the story.
Yes. So I drove to a little city outside of San Antonio. That's the only one. And it's about an hour away, little country store. And I'm like, all right, well, let's see, I'll take it. Got out there. My first year, I did maybe 10. Okay. Didn't do a lot. And they're like, next year rolls around, you want it? I'm like, I guess I'll take it. I was there for about 7 years. And as I got there every year, it's the same old people, okay, that shop. Seniors shop in the morning. They don't want to go in the afternoon when the families and all that stuff. They go there and it's a place to socialize. Okay, this HEB, which is a local, huge grocery chain here in Texas, you know, they had a little bar, coffee bar, breakfast and stuff. The seniors hang out. So I would be there, and eventually they're like, they see me there 2 years, 3 years, and eventually they're like, hey, can you help me out? And I was doing about 100, okay, sitting there. And then I was doing even more ACAs there. Oh, I did good. But again, I get happy. I don't want to drive an hour anymore. Now one of my guys goes, but yeah, I don't want to, you know, you get to a point where you get there and you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to go there no more. But yeah, maybe going out in the country or get in the hood. Okay. That's what I would recommend. Don't be all excited or choose a Whole Foods or a high-end grocery store, because it's just not going to work.
Trader Joe's, no. Fresh Market, no. Okay. So I posted in the chat here questions. If you guys got questions, we're kind of on the downward slope of this thing. I want to make sure to give you guys an opportunity to throw out questions maybe that weren't covered. A couple of things I'll just kind of hit on here. Nicole said, don't forget senior community centers and complexes 100%. Now, my experience has always been on the final expense side, but those can be captive audiences if you can go find them. There's usually many of those, even in smaller communities. So that's always good. And then Nenfia asked, how do I get a $70 million agency like Justin Brock? I mean, it's really just like anything else, you know, work at what you're really good at for decades and work on building it and building it and building it. And then one day, hopefully somebody will be interested in selling. Now, as it has been the last couple of years, the private equity market has been hot for Medicare because it's a residual income basis. And so there's been a lot of players in that market acquiring businesses and for great multiples too. So I would imagine, I don't know any of the details of Justin's arrangement, but he's probably netting 5 to 7 million in profit every year from his company. I don't know how much business that is. It's a heck of a lot, that's for sure. And he earned it every penny. But you know, you gotta hustle. You gotta work. It's just like anything else.
David, I'm gonna add about that because I'm sorry, I'm kind of munching. I'm starving. I had my workout this morning, David.
Oh yeah.
Man, I was thinking I can wait till afterwards, but man, I was spiraling down. I'm starving. So that's why I'm turning off my camera, guys.
Okay.
But here's what's going on, guys. So you want to build an agency like Brock. He's got a huge machine. Now, I'll just tell you, the way you can grow one of two ways, guys. You can do all your business yourself, okay? And you can be the agent and you build. The other way that you can do it is you can become very entrepreneurial like he did. And the way you do that is you hire LOAs. These are license-only agents. These are agents that will come underneath you. They are licensed, certified, and contracted with the carriers, but they're LOA to you, which means they write business. You own the business and you get paid the commissions, and then you pay them whatever you want.
Right.
All right. There's nothing wrong with that model. Now, for me, I'll be damned if I'm going to be an LOA agent because I want to build my own agent. But not everybody's like me. There's people that don't want all the pressure because those people probably receive a salary or an hourly wage. They probably get a commission per sale. You know, I don't know what else he may have, benefits or who knows what. And they don't have to worry about getting leads. He's probably out marketing and developing his own leads for his team. And he's building a huge machine. So if you want to have a machine like that, go hire your first LOA. Okay, takes a little bit of work to get set up, but you can do that. And then now you have your one employee and you determine what's, there's no structure, there's no set way to pay your people, but you pay them a salary, pay them an hourly wage, give them a bonus, and feed them, give them leads, give them a place to work, and they can grow your book.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
Yep. A lot of players doing that in the call center space. Even more local basis. Takes a lot of money. Ask me how I know. I have really program and final expense, so it's a very capital intensive on the front end, but long term, if you can stick with it, it's wonderful. Cool. Okay, so we got I'd say about 30 minutes, Luis. What do you want to cover with the remaining time that we have?
Well, I had this. This is where I was going. I want to talk about cross-selling, okay? Because let's not just sell them a Medicare product, get in and out. Now, industry knowledge is that the more hooks you put on a client, the longer they stay with you. And here's the other deal. You don't want me to throw you as an agent under the bus, because I will. I'm a little cutthroat. Here's the scenario. So you go and sell a client an MAPD plan. Okay. And they walk into my office, however I acquire them, and I'm looking at their plan and reviewing it. And I'm like, all right, maybe I have a suggestion. And I'm going to talk about, hey, show me your hospital indemnity plan. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure your agent did that. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, what? Your agent? Jeez, you must. I'm like, your agent is doo-doo. Man, I can't believe they didn't take care of you like this. Let me explain. So I'm going to explain to you guys how a hospital indemnity works when it comes to Medicare. And you're going to want to get contracted once I share this with you. All right, let me just go find my summary benefit. I had this ready. Here we go. All right. Come on, baby, show up here. Okay, here we go. So here is a sample summary of benefits. And remember, guys, that in the scope of appointment that you must sign, there is choices there. PDP, MedSup, MAPD, cancer, I think, and then hospital indemnity. So make sure that they sign initial the hospital indemnity. All right. So as you're going through your presentation, like you should, because you're a pro agent and you want to do everything compliantly, you go through all of these benefits. Then what you do, Miss Mio, hey, Betty. So $75 a day for 5 days. Miss Betty, when we get done at the end of this presentation, remind me to tell you how I help the majority of my clients handle this. That way you don't have to pay for this out of pocket, because you may not have $75 for 5 days. Okay. All right. We continue. We go on, and we go to the emergency room. Miss Betty, how do most people get to the emergency room? Sometimes they got to think about this. An ambulance. Exactly. So if you end up riding an ambulance, and I go to the ambulance here and I go find it, wherever it's at. I know it's $260 or whatever. I'm like, Miss Betty, this is the cost. This is a chunk of change that you'll have to pay. Where is it? Ambulance. Okay. Let's just say I found it. Okay. Remind me how I'm going to help you take care of a big portion of this $260. Okay. And I go on, and Miss Betty, where does the ambulance take you? To the hospital. What part of the hospital? The emergency room. Exactly. Well, if you go to the emergency room, you're going to have to pay them $120. And if they admit you to the hospital, then you'll pay that $75 a day. Remind me how I can take care of this $120 for you. All right. And then I continue, and then I get here to therapeutic radiology. So Miss Betty, statistics, 1 out of 2 men, 1 out of 3 women will get cancer. All right. Cancer does not have a timeline. Okay. So what we have found is that with cancer, chemo, the drugs that you're going to be taking, that most people will hit their maximum out of pocket. Now, with this carrier, you'll have a copay for each treatment. With a lot of carriers, you'll pay 20%, but you are probably going to hit your maximum out of pocket of $3,800. And you'll probably hit it for the current year and the following. So we're at $7,600, right? 33,000, 7,600 bucks. It's a lot of money, Miss Betty. So remind me at the end of this conversation here, at the end of this presentation, how I can put a sum of money into your pocket. I'm pointing at the wrong camera, into your pocket, okay, on how you can take care of how I'm going to write you a check for you to have this money to take care of this and possibly even have a little extra to help out with some expenses. That sound okay to you? Boom. All right, I go and I continue. Now check this out. I am going to run a quote. Now I prefer, come on, Brittany, hold on. I prefer Heartland National. That's my go-to. Man, I know the marketing guy real well. He responds great. You have other choices, but I'm just going to go on here and I am going to run a quick quote for you. Okay. All right, here we go. So let's go to the quote. So I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to run, you know what, I'm going to put 08/01/1959. All right. Now, remember, it's a $75 copay for 5 days. I'm going to choose 100 for 5 days. Okay. Miss Betty lives in Texas and she's married. I'm going to go run her a quote and I am going to add the $200 ambulance. Look at my premium, guys. I hope I'm sharing the right screen. Let's see here. Am I? Yep. Nope. Wrong.
We see Heartland.
I'm sorry, but you're not seeing my quote screen.
Nope.
I'm going to reshare. Okay, here we go. Now I'm on the quote screen. Okay, so I entered some information and here's $100 a day for 5 days. The emergency room reimbursement is 150 bucks. And then the ambulance reimbursement is 200 bucks. Look at my premium, guys, for a measly 10 bucks. Now, we're not going to get rich on this, but you know what? It's a side product and I'm going to help my client. $10. And I've taken care of 3 of the 4 things I told her I was going to take care of. Now I'm going to go here and lump sum cancer. And I'm going to add, I default to 10. Okay. Remember, 3,800 times 2, 7,600 bucks. Okay. So now I'm going to tell her, look, premium got up to 40 bucks. All right. $40. Like Miss Betty, explain this, explain this, explain this. Upon diagnosis of a life-threatening illness, this carrier is going to write you a check for $10,000. You're going to put that into your account. And you're going to use it to treat your cancer or you treat your cost for the cancer. Okay. Now, 3,800 one year, 3,800 next year. Hey, you're going to have a little extra chunk of change to help you out. Okay. Now, I kind of start there and I start moving. So Miss Betty may tell me, oh, Luis, man, I don't think I could squeeze 40 bucks. I am not a hard closer, guys. Okay. This is not the market to be a hard closing now because they may take it to satisfy you. But the very next day when you're gone, they're going to cancel. Okay, remember, a lot of these seniors are in an extremely tight budget. Well, tell me, Miss Betty, what can I work with? I definitely think you need to have this. Look, the majority of my clients have this. And here's the deal. When you get this product, you're locking in the rate right now. And on top of this, because you're turning 65, we don't have to answer any medical questions. It's guaranteed issue, except 2 questions about cancer. Okay. And she tells me, well, look, I think I can do 30 bucks. Perfect. Let's take a look. 9,000. Not there yet. 8,000. Not there yet. 7,000. Hey, Miss Betty, how about this? How about 31 bucks? No, Luis, I told you 30. Okay, I'm sorry. I can do 31 or 28. Okay. But either way, I'm going to write you a check for $6,000 if you choose the 28. Okay. So, Miss Betty, can you, I need your routing number and account number. Because they don't take credit cards. Do you think that you could you give me that number? Can you go get that from your purse and go bring me your routing number and account number? I'm not going to ask if she wants it. I'm going to tell her go get her checking account so I can get this thing set up. That's the ultimate cross sell. How hard was that, David?
Easy enough.
Man, easy peasy. Any questions on indemnity plans?
So Termia asks, why do a lump sum cancer rider in your hospital indemnity plan versus a standalone cancer plan?
Good question. Why? In one plan, I cover those 3 products and I upsell the cancer. I can do a cancer plan, no problem, but that's just my preference. I like to do the 3 carriers, the hospital copay, the ER copay, the ambulance copay, and throw in cancer. So they get one bill, one carrier, one bill with all 4 of those coverages. I don't like to do these 3 with one carrier and then another carrier. It's just too many bills on their account.
Right.
So it's a preference. Now, if GTO has a great standalone cancer plan, they also have an indemnity plan. So again, remember, you're the agent. You're the one who decides what you want, what you think is best for your client. So if you think that standalone cancer is superb, rock and roll, knock yourself out.
Great. Anything you else want to hit on there, Luis? Wrapping up cross-selling, and then guys, this is the time. If you got any final questions, throw them in the chat. They can be about anything that we've talked about today. I think we've pretty much hit everything we wanted to. So I want to give everybody the opportunity to ask anything that they wanted to hear about. Maybe we didn't mention. This is the time to do it.
I'm looking at my notes. The biggest thing, guys, kind of a summary. Make sure you're ready to sell. Okay. Make sure you got your carriers lined up. Oh, we haven't discussed enrollment tools. While we wait for some questions, guys, the Premier, there's every carrier has the ability to roll with that particular carrier. They will give you, United gives you Lean, Humana gives you Enrollment Hub, Think Medicare or Think Agent is Aetna, and you have Ascend. You have all these tools to enroll. Now, what I would take advantage of is Sunfire. Sunfire is provided by your FMO. It is the quote and enrollment platform that you get, which I'm going to share here with you guys, that you get from your upline. Now, with us, there's a cost to it. We the organization, the FMO, covers the cost, so you don't have to worry about the cost. So I'm going to log in here and show you what tools you get with Sunfire. All right. Now, Sunfire is, they changed the plan. They changed the name of it. They can white label it and call it something else, but the skeleton is the same. So you have the ability here to quote and enroll. Okay. You have the ability to send a scope. Now check this out. All right, let's do a scope, guys. Okay, so there's some initial setups, but I am going to call me. All right, so let's say, you know what, I'm going to take that back. We're going to make this thing an inbound call. So I'm going to call from my cell. Okay, so I'm the senior calling the number. Check it out. Okay, call comes in. Accept and start recording. Okay, plug in the zip code. Hello. This call is being recorded for quality assurance. Please note that we do not offer every plan in your area. Currently, we represent 6 organizations which offer 49 products in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-Medicare, or your local state health insurance plan to get your SHIP, your state health insurance program, to get information. Oh, hold on all your options. Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. Okay, so you do that. You have to get the disclaimer out. Now look at this, guys. So I talked to my senior. Hey, what's going on, Miss Betty? Okay, well, you know what? I want to get some AEP, whatever it is. Okay, great. You know what? Since it's an inbound call, I can send a scope right now. Look at the options, guys. I can text them a scope. And they get a text message and they fill it out. I can email them a scope, and I can capture a voice scope. Now, this voice scope is not here when there's no call being made. So I'm going to end it now because at this point we don't need to do this. But if I end the call, the voice scope feature goes away. Okay, so you have to be on the voice scope. it gives you a great way to capture the scope. You guys need to know that unless there's 3 exceptions to the 48-hour rule on the scope. So you're getting an inbound call, a walk-in, or it's within 4 days of the ending of a valid election. Other than that, you must wait 48 hours. And that would not screw around with us. It is not 2 days. It's 48 hours. There's a difference. Okay. So we are 9/12 at 1:25. If I don't meet one of the 3 exceptions, guys, I have to book my appointment 9/14, 1:26 or later. Okay. I cannot, that's the difference. So I can't just book it on the 14th at 9 a.m. because I didn't satisfy the rule. And you're like, how in the hell would they find out? Remember that scope, the text, email, or the voice is time stamped. So if there's ever a complaint, guys, the first issue that they tackle is the SOA. So make sure that you are capturing the SOA the right way and you're waiting the appropriate time. Now you can get in here and I've captured it. Now I can go back over here and I can actually even search. I can go on here and I can plug in some data. Okay. And where is it? And I can do a benefit search. Okay. So I am going to need to plug in their name, their date of birth, their Medicare number, and it will do the search and find out if they have, if their A and B is effective, if they've got Medicaid, LIS, and it'll tell me what carrier they're currently enrolled with. Okay. Now I can go to quote and enroll. Now it's searching for these plans because that's what I plugged in. Okay. And I can start working on it. So let's just say I pick Humana. Now there's no 2025 already in here. That will happen in October. Right now, this is all 2024. But I can go on here, choose Humana. I can enroll. I can go to details and scroll all the way down. And I can get my summary of benefits down here. Okay, I can get star ratings. I can pick all my goodies up on here. That way I have access to them. Sunfire is a great enrollment tool.
All right. And
Any
then
questions, David?
Yeah, one more question, then we're going to wrap it up for the day. So this is one asked several times. How do we go about tracking commissions between all these different carriers? What's your recommendation?
I have a solution. 2 things that you can do. Number 1, you can go the old school way. If you got 10 clients and you don't see what from one carrier, whatever, I mean, it's easy to count when you've got a very, very small book. Okay. But as your book gets larger, it is really, really hard to track. Okay. So look what I have here for you guys. Give me one. I'm pulling up the video and I have this tool. Now I have another tool that I use, but I use it because I've got a lot of sub agents and I have to pay them. And that's almost a $300 tool. Okay. That's not what we want to do. And here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm pulling the video up. Hold on here. And I'm going to share the link with you, David.
Smarter and not harder. With Elementor's powerful AI features, you can supercharge your creative process.
Okay.
This is the
Okay. So I'm going to share the link, but I'm going to go straight to the website. Okay. Here's the link, David. This is the link to the video. Okay. But this is what I would recommend.
Okay.
Okay. David will share that with you guys. But there is a tool out there called Agency Comp. All right. This guy's pretty cool. I like this guy. He's a small little shop and he had a great idea of putting this together. So you should be seeing my Agency Comp deal here, I think. Yeah, you are. All right. So this guy has the ability for you to take your statements and download them here. Okay, you download them here, and through some reporting features, and the key reporting feature, 2 things. David mentioned, well, let's talk about missing commissions, then I'll go to the big picture. It will tell you on a report who you did not get paid on. So if you get paid $26 a month, and you get paid for 2 people, so you're receiving $260, And all of a sudden now you only get $200. They're like, ooh, who am I missing? You could go to your tracker, your commission statement and do that, or you can run a report here and it'll tell you who is missing. That's the really cool feature. There is another feature. And David, before I even bring it, let's ask our viewers, how much do you think this software costs? Okay, let's see their reply on here. Okay, then I'm going to show pricing. But here's the deal. Then what you can do is David mentioned about private equity buying books of business. If you have a book of business and you want to sell it, you're going to have to share that with them to see what they're going to pay you on. Well, this has a great feature for you to share the value of your book. Okay, but pricing. Anybody put anything on pricing by any chance, David?
Nope.
Because they're gonna be floored.
Yeah, it's way cheaper than I thought. I've never seen this before.
Look at the prices, guys. If you've got 100 clients, it's $14 a month. 500 clients, $25 a month. Okay, and then if you got way more than 500 clients and up additional users, $40 a month. I mean, it's well worth for you to find out if you're missing the client. It is dirt cheap. So get with these guys. I've worked with this guy. He's pretty cool. David shared the video, and in that video, guys, if you look at it, view it, he goes over all the features and we do some demo stuff in there. Super cool. But this is the only tool at this price. The one that I use is almost $300 a month. Okay, but at this price, man, I will tell you, for an agent that has under 500 clients, $24. My wife just brought me lunch, and I'm sure she got something. We probably spent way more than that just for our lunch today.
Right. Well, Luis, I just want to say thank you very much for taking time today to co-host this Medicare AEP deep dive training with us. We've talked about pretty much everything that matters when it comes to sales, marketing, compliance, getting set up correctly, cross-selling, and really making the most out of this AEP season that's coming up. So guys, Luis does take agents. He does recruit them to Medicare. Where do agents need to go to learn more?
Well, they can go to my YouTube channel, pull any video up, and in the description of every video is my email.
Okay.
The second thing they can do, David, they can email me at luis@360insurancegroup.com. And then I put this here, guys. I would love for you guys to come join me. This is my channel for Medicare and ACA. And all that I do here is I post agent questions that I've answered on video. So you hit this little magnifying glass and search for a question. You name it, it's on here. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 6K. Man, you got 1 million subscribers, David. Just a couple of y'all. Go click on my channel and help me grow. I would definitely appreciate that. But a lot of stuff for you guys for Medicare and ACA.
Awesome. Luis, thank you very much again. And everybody out there watching live and the recording, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. And we will be back in a couple of weeks. We're going to do this again, but for ACA. Our ACA Open Enrollment 2025 season. So I'm excited about that. Luis will be co-hosting it. And again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Y'all take care.
Take care, guys.
Okay. All done.
Pretty good, man. I think it flowed really good.
Yeah.
I like